Thank you. What would we do without Ant? Like at the end of the day, like good look. Hey, what up? Happy Ironheart week, beloved. What's going on out there? You already know what it is. It is your favorite blurred crick, ready to talk blurred shit. Let me say that again. Favorite blurred click, ready to talk blurred shit. This is coming up way too quick. You ain't supposed to see us yet. Hold on, man. It's supposed to be on loop. All right, so yeah, man. Hope y'all ready, locked and loaded, and get yourselves ready because yes, this week the lovely Ironheart did debut. Miss Riri Williams is here, hallelujah, and we gonna talk about it and all the good, bad, the ugly, if that even exists. So go ahead and take a couple moments and share, like. We will wait. Go ahead, man, because I'm gonna keep it real. We have some exclusive footage just to give you a little teaser.
Anthony Wright from the movie blog, big fans, going to just dive into it. I want to kind of pick up where Tamara started. It's no secret, right? You got a young black genius in Riri, but there's a pattern of pre-backlash. Ryan, I know you used to this, right? You've done this for a few Marvel projects, but did you and Chinaka go into this process knowing that this was coming? And if so, did that weigh on you going in? Did you warn her? Does Disney have any internal preparation for this stuff? How does it work?
I mean,
Stop them on just one question. So we got to go ahead and get into all of that, man, because there is much to discuss. Will it be our Justice League? I don't know. Hope each and every last one of y'all is ready. Pull on up you a chair. Let's go ahead and talk about Ironheart and everything else that goes along with it. I am joining another bit. Your homegirl Yazzie. We got Bad Time. We got Ant, myself as well. But we got you, which is most important. So let's go ahead and get into it. This the new Blurred Order, baby.
This is Thugnificent telling everybody to tune in to New Blurred Order, my nigga. The best podcast on the planet Earth, nigga.
Alrighty, as we said, guys, we are excited because Ironheart did debut recently, and we've had an opportunity to check it out and see some of these first episodes. Hopefully you have as well. And there is obviously a lot of uproar on the internets with people making their different opinions about such, this, that, and the third. So let's just go ahead and get right on into it. So our exclusive homie, Ant, had an opportunity with AAFC to interview these two individuals that are heavily involved. Obviously, Ryan Coogler being the executive producer of said project, and his counterpart, Chinaka Hodge, being his writer for this particular project. And we get to learn all about her and how dope she is, her background, her bio, but most importantly, we just get to let, pick her brain. So, Ant, real quick, man, before we go ahead and get this thing started, man, just kind of, first of all, congratulations to you for landing this interview. You know what I'm saying? It seems like it was probably, not the easiest thing in the world to land, right? So, I mean, just talk to us about, how you came about, how it all worked out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was able to sit and just collect these minds and just speak with them. These heroes that we got, just you know what I'm saying? Just give us a little bit of background, man. Talk to us right quick. You know what I'm saying?
Well, first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Michael Nassis and Markeisha, she's actually honorary member of the movie blog subscription. So thank y'all both for coming through. This interview and opportunity with the African American Film Critics Association came up. I had opportunities to be in Ryan Coogler's atmosphere. I even got a picture with him, but I've never had an opportunity to sit down and actually ask him a question on the record before. The group actually invited me. It was a roundtable interview. The full interview with all participants is up on the African American Film Critics Association channel. We had about 18 minutes to talk to them, but it kind of went left when I asked them my question, because it seems like my question ate up maybe about 6 of the 18 minutes, just for them to process the question and then get out their answer. So I was really just blessed to have this opportunity. I knew I was only going to be able to ask them one question, and I've decided, instead of asking something specific to the show, let me ask them something about them and their experience, and something that I think we as Black fans have always wondered. Right, we've seen as Black fans all of these projects come out from Disney, whether it's The Acolyte, whether it's something that's like Agatha, whether it's Riri Williams, whether it's Echo, all of this pre backlash, and we've all wondered. Moses Ingram with Obi-Wan, what does Disney, what does Sony, what do these studios do to help when these things happen? And I wanted to get it from, I think, the best source I could get it, which is Ryan Coogler.
Absolutely, man. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's we got your it loaded up here. So let's go ahead and get into some of the first bits. If you want, go ahead and run that thing, bad boy. Go.
Cause I know, you know, Wakanda Forever is streamed consistently more than the first Black Panther.
All right, hold up. So the first part. All right, you know what? All right, that ain't working too well, and I don't appreciate Ty bringing up the fact there was dust on my Iron Man. Like, Iron Man is dead, right? Like, this ain't been used in a minute, so you got to give me a little. And for your information, this was actually used in a cosplay for my daughter Kadeja when she cosplayed as Riri Williams back in 2016, when she was just in the pages of the comic and was not even being discussed as a potential live action character, motherfucker. So anyway, can we start that over again? I'm sorry, I didn't mean for the new people watching to swear. But let's start that one over again, if you don't mind.
You want me to start from my question?
Yeah, start from the question, man, because
all right, let's go.
I couldn't see through the suit, which is an issue. You play Spider-Man, the video game. He asked a legit question. He was like, "What do y'all do about sneezing in your masks?" That's a real thing, right? But anyway, we ready? Let's go ahead and kick it on off, big bro.
Right from the movie blog, big fans, going to just dive into it. I want to kind of pick up where Tamara started. It's no secret, right? You got a young Black genius in Riri, but there's a pattern of pre-backlash. Ryan, I know you used to this, right? You've done this for a few Marvel projects, but did you and Chinaka go into this process knowing that this was coming? And if so, did that weigh on you going in? Did you warn her? Does Disney have any internal preparation for this stuff? How does it work?
Yo, can you stop it? Can you pause it. Yo, first of all, big up to you for bringing the heat to the interview, right? Like, Ant didn't come in and say, "So guys, so where are you from? So like, what made you want to get into movie making?" You know what I'm saying? Like, Ryan was like, "Nah, man, I'm finna Barbara Walters this thing on now. You finna cry today, Ryan Coogler. Let's go ahead and make it happen, man." So real quick before you hit play again, Ant, when you asked the question, did you know based off the response off rip, you were like, "Oh, I think," because I ain't gonna lie, when I saw the clip, I saw Ryan be like, what says to me is, "Yo, I can't just answer this question." You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to answer this the right way, right? And I think that's what's going through her head too. Tripping?
So it's a combination of things. So like, when they're doing these events, they're usually doing like a full day of press. I'm probably interview number 500 for the day, whatever the case may be.
Right.
But also in this roundtable, if you listen to the full interview, a lot of people were asking questions that were like really story based. It was like, "Hey, why did you make Riri this way?" Or why did y'all decide to set it in Chicago? And they were just like, they were able to answer questions based off of Riri. being the sixth person in the round table, one of the things that go through my head is like, I hope nobody asks my question. I hope nobody asks my question. I hope like, and then, like I got to sit here and have like 2 or 3 questions, and I hope nobody asks my question. And then by the time they finally do get to me, I think that they were already like in this preset mind space of expecting another story question or something about the show or something like that. That when I asked them my question, it kind of like Ryan was like, you could tell my man was tired. Like he's been doing a full day at
Oh,
press.
wow.
And like
Okay.
then when I gave this question, his eyes went wide. He was like, "What?" Like,
Yeah.
all right, listen here, homeboy. Let me, you know, he started getting into his thing, right? Like he woke up. So that was the cool part.
And just turned into old dog from Minister Society. I would have killed your
What
dog.
you say about my mama? Bam. Yeah. All right. Go ahead, hit the play thing. Go ahead, hit the play on that button, and go ahead, man. Let it ride.
It's a great question, bro.
I only get one.
Yeah. No. I think, look, like,
Thumped.
I mean, yes, the answer is yes to all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like in you know, look, whenever you breaking ground in spaces that are thought of as not being for you, you know, this happens. You know what I mean? Like in we not the entertainment business is not, it's not unique in that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's in every business, right? What I will say is that this show is for people who not permanently online expressing their opinions about everything. You know what I'm saying? Like this show is for for people who who busy living their lives, bro. You know what I'm saying? And the reality is, like, as a comic book fan growing up, the comic book shop wasn't a place that I always felt safe in. You know what I'm saying? It took my older cousin, who was a comic book fan, to take me in there with him. You know what I mean? We got looks going in those places. You know what I'm saying? But it was through the bravery of my cousin, who was a Gen Xer, black comic book fan in Oakland. You know what I mean? Who didn't care what kind of looks he got. You know what I'm saying? Or who said what to him. You know, he loved those characters. You know what I mean? He brought his younger cousin in there, not knowing I was gonna grow up and you know, become a director, direct Black Panther, but because, you know, he wanted that space to be open to me. You know what I'm saying? I saw interactions he had in comic book shops, and I know he had interactions that he never told me about. You know what I mean? In those places. But 2016, I go to Comic-Con and see a lot of us there. A lot more of us than I saw in them comic book shops in Oakland in the early 90s. You understand where I'm coming from? And you know, for me, I love this, man. I love making a show for Chinaka's auntie and making a show for y'all and for people who you know, maybe don't think it's a place for them in you know, in MCU fandom. You know what I'm saying? The folks that's already there, man, they already there. You know what I mean? And if they come to this show with an open mind, I think there's gonna be a lot there for them. You know what I mean? For folks that come to the show with a closed mind, their mind was closed already. It got nothing to do with us. You know?
I would say that we did our production in Atlanta. We did our production.
How you feel about the answer?
So the first thing that I thought was like, he must have put his executive producer hat on, and he was trying to give me metaphors instead of giving me a direct answer.
Okay.
He was talking about the parallels of him going into comic book stores as a youngster, I'm assuming in like the 80s or whatever, and how it took his older cousin to be the brave person to bring him into this space, and even then his older cousin went through stuff that he probably ain't even tell him about. So at first my thing was like, yeah, I'm happy that I got this story of his because it resonates and it gives us that powerful inspiration that gives us the story of Ironheart that I was looking for, but it didn't directly answer my question. Every time Ryan puts out a story, he does talk about like how each story is inspired by something of his youth, right? Like Sinners was something with his uncle, right? Like now he let us know this. I think he draws parallels from that experience with his cousin going to comic shops. But the question, the answers get deeper, right? Like there's still a lot more they say.
Okay, well, before we get too deep into the rest of it, I do want to acknowledge that. Let me put this in the background for a second. Did y'all hear? Did you? There's a couple things just with what has been discussed thus far that I thought were noteworthy. Right, number one, Ryan, and he did answer the question. He just answered it and then went into another question. The very first thing he said was like, yes. Because it was a yes or no question. It was like, do they do this? And he was like, yes. And he was like, all right. And let me elaborate as to other things. But I thought it's fascinating that there's a dude. I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. I know Ryan's a Cali dude, obviously. But here's a Cali dude. And when I was coming up, especially in the late 90s, Cali, especially in the Los Angeles, Long Beach, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, was like the gangster capital. At least it felt like that based on Death Row Records. And here's a dude who's expressing how afraid he was to go into a comic book shop. you see what I'm saying? Like out of all of the things that could threaten your life in probably the areas and in all the things going on in the world, one thing that was a concern was not being welcomed into a comic book shop, and that he had a cousin that was brave enough. Are you hearing me? Like to venture into a comic book shop because that isn't a place that he felt he belonged. I don't know. That just felt kind of significant to me. I think that is blurred culture. I think that we all identify with that. And that I think is what makes him so good at this. And I just thought I'd throw that in there. You want to go ahead? Click. Yes, please, Ty.
I was just gonna say, to kind of elaborate on that. One of the things I kind of picked up was that I think he's tired of giving credence to the people that don't deserve it. And I think when he made the comment of, people that's gonna hate, they're gonna hate regardless. Like, so this is not why we made this show for them. We didn't make this show for them. We made this show for the people that felt like I felt as a kid, who felt like the space wasn't a safe space for them. I want to show them that there is space for them in the Marvel family. He was very specific in that statement. And I think when you listen to him, he was you could tell that he really was thinking about everything he said before he said it. Which I think is indicative of where he's at in his career at this point. I think if you would have asked this question to Ryan Coogler 10 years ago, you might have got a different response and a different answer. I think now that he's been elevated to where he's been elevated within the Marvel family, I think there's things that he has to protect, relationships, even though the conversations need to be had. I don't know if necessarily he's the spokesperson for that. But I think that just what we heard from him is acknowledgement of there being an issue, and also letting us know, look, we're doing what we can do, on this side of things to not make you feel like that scary moment when you walk into a comic book shop and you're like, is everybody staring at me? Why is everybody staring at me? That moment. So yeah.
Is this a hard question to answer? Like I'm reading the shout out to the chat. What's going on, everybody in the chat? And Harmony A+ commentator. Shout out to Harmony. She said you can't answer that question. Why not? Why? I don't see why he can't say yes. We always have to deal with folks who are not necessarily excited about these projects, and Disney does have a plan in place for when these things happen, because it has happened so many times before. And here's what that plan is. Or I don't know, is that something that seems that is that so exclusive that can't be shared? I don't know. Like, I don't know. Am I tripping? Like, it doesn't seem like. Go ahead, yes.
It was like open and closed how he answered that. If you really think about it, like his answer with it, he was like, there's not a space for us. And he said it in general. It's not just in Hollywood, it's in general with every single, what I'm saying, job, everything that we do. So that's he did, technically speaking, did state that, but he said it in a vague way because he didn't want to expound on it. You got to understand, he's contracted by Disney, by HBO. So depending on how he expounds on his, experiences with them, that also contributes to his art getting produced by them. So he's not going to put his own foot in his mouth and stop his art from being released because he said the truth about how, the industry and just the world is, you know what I'm saying? We're creating a space where there is not. So there's obviously going to be some controversy and, some things we're going to have to break doors down to do. And yes, things are going to happen, but we can expound on them always. We just have to be the bigger person and rise above it.
Okay. I like that. Good stuff. Yes. All right. Well, before you hit play real quick, guys, obviously on the other end of that spectrum is Chinaka Hodge. Chinaka Hodge is going to speak as well. Not as well known as Ryan Coogler as of yet, but hopefully very soon. Just to give you a little bit of background on Chinaka, she was actually born in Oakland, California. So we see where her and Ryan have those connections. The daughter of an Afrocentric Bay Area community activist, Greg Baba Hodge. Wow. Okay, she graduated from NYU's Gallatin School of Individualized Study and was honored to be student speaker of the 174th commencement exercise. She's got a lot of accolades here, guys. And so this isn't something that just was popped up on her. She has comparable capacities in New York and Los Angeles, Urban World, NYC, Get Lit. And she's done Newsweek, San Francisco Magazine, Believer Magazine, PBS, NPR, CNN, C-SPAN, and even did 2 seasons of HBO's Def Poetry Jam, of which she is an avid poet. But let's go ahead and get a little bit more of that. Go ahead and hit that play button for us real quick, and let's see more of this dope interview. And
yeah, she was also involved with AMC Snowpiercer, for those who checked out.
Oh, she was.
That was my show.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I remember where they eat the babies and all that other stuff. All right, that's cool. Yeah, let's go ahead, man.
I was still doing rewrites when I was living in Birmingham, and put it very succinctly, my people were owned on the land we did the production. Like, my people were owned on the very land we did the production. So when I think about the hate, it's so minuscule compared to the victory. It's so small. And I don't know what y'all believe, but there was plenty that went before me that made my path smooth and made my way clear, including him sending Ryan ahead of me to make 2 films in this space, to be in Atlanta ahead of me. And it really fell on me when I was living in Birmingham that SNCC had babies out there. There were babies willing to fight for our freedom. I got to be willing to write a movie. I got to be willing to write a TV show if the baby's going to march. So, yeah, I'm there's plenty of hate, but to get on a call like this with all y'all, it's just so small. It's so feckle. It means nothing.
And a real
Pause. All right. She just dropped a bunch on us. All right, Alabama. All right, working on the land of prior slave ownership. All right, SNCC. All right, the Student Nonviolent. What was it? Student Nonviolent Civil Rights something. I forget what the last C stands for. Somebody look that up real quick. I know it's Student Nonviolence. I know Stokely Carmichael's joint was SNCC. And the Atlanta part. So I'm guessing that they filmed a lot of this in Atlanta. But what she basically said was like, yeah, man, the hate is gonna hate. We can't let that stop us from putting out more content. If they could sit out and drink out of water fountains that weren't supposed to be designated for them, and they could stand up to police that are shooting them in the streets, the least I could do is write a script. Right? And she's right. I love it. But did you have any thoughts about that? Did that satisfy your question? And I know there's more coming, but did that at least help a little bit?
Yeah, because there's the duality of the conversation. Ryan is talking obviously from a completely different space, a completely different perspective, completely different set of responsibilities on his shoulders. Shinaka's speaking from a poet.
Whew.
She came out and you could see when the question came, it it generated a response in her, and she started she was thinking of her answer before it came out. So
Right.
I really appreciated what she said, where she came from, her just unapologetic honesty in the experience. And yeah, even more, she says as they continue, but this was making me happy. This was touching on that raw black experience that I could connect to with someone, so I can see myself in them and then appreciate their work even more. So that absolutely gave it to me.
Dope. Let's keep it going, man. Let's go ahead and hit that play button. Let's see what it looks like Ryan got a lot more to say.
Oh yeah. And just piggyback on what Knock's saying, like that backlash is usually like not factual. You know what I mean? Like if you check internet narratives, you know what I'm saying? Like I could tell y'all cause I know, Wakanda Forever is streamed consistently more than the first Black Panther. Consistently. At a factor of almost 2-1. You know what I mean? Like I know this because I see the data. If you were to hop on the internet, you would think it was the opposite. You know what I mean? Like according to backlash. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times that narrative is so distant from from what's actually real. So for me, the biggest thing I'm there for Chinaka and for Sam and for Angela and for Zenzi and for Sev and for Zoe, for Kelsey, it's just perspective. You know what I mean? Like perspective of what to listen to, what not to, what should be valued, what shouldn't be, and what's expected. You know what I mean?
I will also say at the start of this.
Pause. Thank you. You get it. You get me. Are we delusional? Have we been caught up in a cyclone of internet bullshit to the point where we start to believe the stuff that is being said on online? And Ryan's basically saying it's not real. He's like, the numbers don't support the comment section. Ty, I see you nodding your head. I mean, is that real?
Yes, most definitely. You and I have had this conversation before, and I stand by what I say. We live in a society and a time with social media where I can make a blatant statement, and if I can get 100 people to agree with my blanket statement, now we've added some type of factuality within our 100 people group that now can traverse our 100 people group once it goes viral and is kind of fed to the populace. And that's because a lot of people don't do their research. A lot of people look at the headline and they jump on it and be like, oh, did you hear? Did you see? And you know what I'm saying? And it's because our attention spans are very short. So like literally when you're scrolling through your phone or scrolling up your timeline, you're looking for that thing that pops. So when that headline pops out, Wakanda Forever, is doing way worse. You're like, hold up, what? Wakanda? What? It's that reactionary, because people post for reactions, which is why what I'm seeing as a consistency in this interview with Ryan is trying to let you know, I don't cater to the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like what we did and what we came to do, we're doing. And for us, this is what matters. What the person who already hates what we're doing has to say doesn't matter to me. I'm not I know that they're going to say it, but am I going to pay attention to them? No, because I know what we're doing over here, what we're trying to accomplish over here. And to his benefit and to his his point, success is what's happening with you. When you touch it, with everything he's been touching has been successful. And I don't think he's gonna stop doing what he's doing because this guy over there who has nothing, no life, and it sits on the internet all day, just making up stuff. I'm not gonna feed into his narrative or their narrative because I know it doesn't fit me or serve me, you know what I'm saying, or any of us to do so.
Dig it. All right. Let's go ahead and keep it rolling. And what else we got?
A little bit more.
I got some scary stuff in Disney, Marvel.
Of what to listen to, what not to, what should be valued, what shouldn't be, and what's expected. You know what I mean?
I will also say at the start of this, I got some scary stuff in Disney, Marvel. Shut it down. Shut it down.
Ryan and Chinaka, thank you. We're gonna have to.
That's the end.
Yo, Ryan and Chinaka. They say Disney sent us. They say something happened, and Disney shut it down at the outset. I'm very curious as to what that was. Yeah, come on, Ant, come on, because I know.
I wish I knew. No, I wish I knew, but that stuck with me because, all this time, I was, I got to talk to Halle Bailey, right, for The Little Mermaid, and we all remember the reaction she received for playing a mermaid. I didn't get to talk to Moses. I didn't get to talk to a lot of people, but sometimes I get these opportunities to talk to these folks, and I'm always wondering, yo, this is a pattern. This is a pattern. Right. It always happens. This pre-backlash, if people get attacked, there's always all this narrative online. Are the studios, what is their response? How do they interpret all of this stuff that's happening online? What is their response? How do the talent talk to the studio when this stuff happens? So for her to give that little inkling of an insight is way more than we've ever heard from anyone before.
Yeah. It seemed like there's probably, I don't know, an incident that at some point in time, hopefully we get a chance to find out what it was or if there was something crazy. But I think that they do have I think that what Disney has been doing, at least to combat it, has been fairly consistent. I don't know if it works, but here's what I think that they try to do. Let me just show you a real quick example of this.
We interrupt the interview for just a moment because I think we have a very special message. I think you're going to recognize who this is.
Good morning, America. The new studio. God, looks great. Ms. Thorne, I couldn't be happier than to be seeing you bring Riri Williams to life. But the hood has me nervous. Is the hood green? Please tell me Mr. Ramos is not replacing me as Dr. Doom via Parker Robbins. Is there something you're not telling me? Anyway, I don't want to step on your interview. Long story short, Iron Man loves Ironheart.
That's so crazy. Dominic, how's that make you feel? That one of the original Avengers saying that.
Loves Iron Man too. Oh man.
So my point here is that if you recall, back when Obi-Wan suffered a lot of backlash for Reva being involved, Obi-Wan had to come out and be like, I don't know why I had to do this, but we love Reva. We don't want any problems. And that seems to be the formula. Okay, when the people trip, let's send out our biggest star to quell down the noise and show that he endorses what's going on. I don't know if that formula works, but that seems to be what they do. Am I tripping? No, Ty?
In this particular instance, I'm gonna tell you why this formula doesn't work for me. Number one, as soon as that happened, and I had to go and check my sources, but they paid Robert Downey Jr. $1 million for that 20-second shout out that he did. He got paid $1 million to come on and say that he liked it. He didn't do this. This wasn't a genuine gesture of his good faith and him coming in to support this. They had to pay this man to do that. And then I'm gonna tell you what else I had a problem with. In the midst of him doing that and coming to support Ironheart, you know what he did? He just plugged his own fucking movie. He's like, yo, like, how you gonna come in to show support and plug your own movie? That's such bullshit. So no, I don't subscribe to Robert Downey Jr. I used to love me some Iron Man until that moment right there, bro. Like after I found out that they had to pay this man $1 million to come on a talk show and say, yo, I'm like, yo, who wrote that for him? You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I'm at with it. Like, who wrote that for him? But man, no.
Wow. I didn't know they had to pay him for it. But I also am not familiar with how often that happens either. Like, I don't know if they paid.
We can always find out.
No,
the internet
was an executive producer for the show, so he had skin in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. That's a juicy tidbit. You would think that just for the sake of the franchise and for the success of the upcoming, you wouldn't have to get paid. Was essentially gas money to somebody like Tony. I almost said Tony Stark. I think he's actually
basically Tony Stark. This man is almost a billionaire off of this Iron Man role.
I mean, after Oppenheimer and all of this, like, you would think that he'd be like, nah, man. Unless I learned that this $1 million went to charity. That's the only way I'll be like, all right. If they say, look, $1 million went to a charity, I'm gonna still give him a side eye, but I might be like, all right, I guess if you didn't pocket the money, I guess it's not as bad, especially if I know what that charity is. And if it's some old, give guns to children type bullshit, then I probably ain't on that type of bandwagon. But this is first of all, Ant never ceases to amaze us, right? Let's just go ahead and love up on Ant right quick, man. The dude's coming through with the crazy interviews, man. My dog, bro, like, and I mean, you make it look easy, you know what I'm saying? Sitting there kicking it with these folks, but I ain't gonna lie, I might have been said some stupid shit. Like, yo, do I sound like you right now? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where your accent came from in real life? Like, who is it that taught you like this? You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad you was able to handle that. We have seen Ironheart for the most part, most of us. And what are we thinking about? I'm gonna go ahead and take this down. And then just give us thumbs up, thumbs down. Let's just be honest now. Listen, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't want to trash or speak ill of a black-led project, but I will be honest. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna go ahead and take this movie set down in 3, 2, and 1. 2, 1.
Ty, you have nothing?
Oh, my bad. My bad. I was caught up. I was caught in the comments. I was in the comments. My bad.
You're in the comments. That's cool. Well, yo, look, I can say I like it without feeling no kind of way. I'm gonna keep it real. It started a little slow for me, ever so slightly, just a slight slow. There was like the first 10 minutes, I was like, oh, I'm seeing Marvel formula. You know how when you watch like a CW show, you're like, oh, this is a CW show. This doesn't look nothing at all like a CW show, but what I mean is that you are able to kind of recognize the Marvel formula, right? And when you start to be able to predict what's going to happen or how things are going to happen in a show, I think it starts to lose a bit of its luster. So I think that was like the first 10, 15 minutes of the first episode. But after that, bro, can we just call out some of our favorite scenes and some of the all right. I love when Lil Boy was like, yo, can I carry your stuff? Because, like, you know, it don't look too, you looking real weird, right? You looking real messed up right now. It don't look good. Like, I like that element. I like the whole element of her being like a hustler on campus, even though some could argue that wasn't necessary. I like the idea of her working with these dudes and with these folks that are essentially kind of like following a somewhat pseudo Robin Hood type model right now. And I love the character Hood right now. I like this villain. I know we had the Pink Riot co-host on not too long ago, and Keisha from the Blurred Library was a little concerned about whether or not this villain would be good enough for Riri. And I gotta say, this villain is giving ill Killmonger vibes, yo. Like, I like when Ty, I know you want the villain. Like, I just want to kill babies and, you know what I'm saying, destroy the earth and shit.
I know I'm not gonna get that from Marvel, probably ever ever. But yes, I would like to see some babies killed.
But on the list of fleshed out villains, I think Killmonger is one of the ones that we don't mind, right? Because we kind of supported his narrative to an extent with him saying, like, why the fuck y'all wasn't here for all black people when Wakanda had all these weapons and all this tech and we was getting chained up and we was told to not go to certain schools. We get that. I get a hint of that in this. Do you not, Ty? Am I misreading that?
Are we talking about the hood?
Yes.
You get a hint of what? Revolutionary?
Absolutely.
Where do you get that from? I get criminal.
Okay, well, all right, well,
I get thief. I get all the things that he
right,
is.
I'll tell you where I get it. I'll tell you where I get it from. Because he gave this speech where he's like, yo, I see y'all. You know, all these other folks out here with the billions of dollars that they never gonna give it to you. They're gonna drag you through all this red tape, even though you all in this room are more than likely more talented, more educated, more intelligent than the overwhelming majority of those tech boys down in Palo Alto. I see y'all for what y'all worth. And even though they not giving it to us, we gonna take it because we earned it type shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that that's a goody to, somebody to look up to, but there's a message behind it. It's not just evil. I just want to get money, get rich, go get an island. It's like, yo, look, man, we deserve the same shit that other motherfuckers are getting access to, but we're not getting it. And so since we're not, we're going to take it. Okay. You don't like,
that's still, you're still stealing. And more. So
is Killmonger in them. I mean,
yo, listen, I'm not comparing the hood to a revolutionary. I'm comparing him to someone who's tired of being broke. Listen, we got to acknowledge the fact that this man has been stealing a long time. Like his whole powers comes from a hood that he stole. It comes from food that he stole. He's literally trying to get everybody on this page of I know who you are by stealing. We're all going to go steal. And he's not like we're going to go steal and build up Chicago. He's like, we're going to steal. And then when we steal from them and we get them we're going to go steal from their friends. And then once we steal from their friends and they start talking about us, we're going to go steal from their friends. And then at some point, we're going to be at the top of the food chain and may be able to be the ones to get stole from. So I just feel like it really is ongoing. No revolutionary.
Okay, all right. Well, hold on, because Mandalore is ripping me a whole new butt in the comments. I'm not trying to compare the two as if say like Killmonger, the hood of equal origin. I'm just saying that this is another villain that is not driven, I feel like, simply by malevolence, or maybe because I'm only through the second episode, maybe I've missed something that y'all have seen. But one of the last things I saw was his monologue to the group, so maybe I should just shut my ass up and finish watching everything. Because
yeah, maybe you're thinking of his character from like in the Heights, and or maybe in Hamilton. You're just liking the fact that he's always, I think you're waiting for that moment when he breaks out into song on screen, and then all is well because he sings a song. Nah, man, this dude is not a good guy. Like, he's not a good guy. I think whatever intentions he had on being a good guy probably started leaving him once he started, morphing into a demon. Like, do you know what's going on with the hood? Like, did you read up on him? Do you know anything about this guy? Like, he's a career criminal. He's not like a guy that turns good and
okay.
Hey, all right. Syndicate or some type of crime family. Like, this is how he gets down. He's a career criminal. And by the way, he didn't just hire these people because they were the bottom, like what he was saying, that whole monologue about, I see you guys, people didn't appreciate. Slug came from is one of the most. What did he say? I'm one of the most to the top criminals in all of Madripoor because we used to rob people. We used to, you know what I'm saying, like kill people and rob people. Like the two girls that he hired, they're known for beating the shit out of people and they're all criminals. This you said what's wrong with it?
But they wasn't just beating up kids. They was in rings. They was like in fight clubs and shit. Like you acting like they was
that was something that they enjoyed to do in their pastime, but they beat the shit out of people on a regular. Like this is what they're good at.
Willing participants.
Oh my God. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. You was just talking about the revolutionaries. Now you like
come on, yeah.
It's all good.
Can you guys hear me? I had to switch my headphones.
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. So I'm sorry, but the girls, remember when they were all sitting around the table? I don't know if you got to this part or not, but they're like, what you gonna do with your money? Oh, we're gonna start an underground fight club.
What's wrong with that?
That's their goal with their money. That's what they're gonna do for a living. I'm just letting you know, like everybody in that group is a fucking criminal. Vince, let that shit go. Okay, they are not Robin Hood. They're criminals. Slug, criminal. Like he can't go to certain places. He's hiding from the police. Okay, the Hood. He's literally hiring people. And remember, the guy. You said you're on episode 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're starting like to see when they like getting together to do, the heisting and stuff like. Okay, so
I saw the heist.
Okay, so there's more. Okay, so you're gonna see more, and you're gonna find out that the Hood, he hired all these people for ulterior motives of his past.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like he is a bad guy, Vince. Like he's Killmonger, but I'm gonna hire people to do my bidding, and then when they don't do what I need them to do,
I see. Okay,
you see what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna take them out, and then still get what I'm looking for because he got this Hood that can do all these superpowers that people don't know what it can do, but then he's got these weird. What's up with the? I don't know what's going on with his body. It's reacting to the Hood, or like what's up with that? Does anyone know like why that is part of his powers? Like what's going on with him?
I'm sure we could ask Lady Mandalore if she was in the comments section. But go ahead. Ty's done a lot of research.
You talking about the Hood's powers?
Yeah, like okay, so the stuff that's like on his body from the Hood. What is that?
So I looked up the stuff on the Hood. So the Hood basically stole the Hood and some boots from a demon. And what the items that he's using are basically corrupting him. And the more he uses it, the more he's corrupted. But right now, the powers that he showed on screen is invisibility. He also has the ability to levitate. He also has the ability to bend bullets and add this power to pistols and firearms and stuff like that. When I did my research on him, he's like a low-level criminal, but he's like he is most of his relationships is with Dormammu. What is it? Dormammu? How do you say it? Dormammu. And Loki. Like he has like interactions with them throughout the Marvel comics. At some points he gets some Norn stones and is able to increase his powers and also increase the powers of others. He has some interesting abilities, but they all mostly come from the cloak. He also can change into a demon, like a demon hybrid at some point, which I think as the show goes along we may or may not see. So yeah, I mean he's an interesting villain.
I don't know enough about it, so maybe I should just kind of fall back a little bit until I finish watching the first 3 episodes, because I literally hopped on just after he gave this motivational speech to like his clique, and I was like, oh. I was like, oh, he cares. So look at the villain, he cares. And then I'm also like looking at everything through this weird lens. I play devil's advocate. I'll probably come out with a skit about it. But I mean, look, well, let me not. I can't. Let me suspend any thoughts about the Hood for the time being. But okay, Yazzie, are you about to
break it down?
Okay, so in the Marvel Encyclopedia, it says that the Hood actually worked with Kingpin, and he was in some shady stuff. He stumbled upon a demon inside a warehouse doing his shady stuff, and he killed it and stole the Hood. And this is how we have the Hood now.
Oh, thank you, Yaz.
Break it down.
All right. What else? Since we like the show, what else do we like? Do we like moms? Do we like?
Natalie?
The crystals? Do we like the Natalie AI, which is clearly her Jarvis, right? And them giving her some sort of backstory. Do we? We see Aunt. No, you're not liking the Jarvis Natalie stuff. No, not your thing.
Nah. So
No?
I mean, I like that they. So I think the actress is doing all right. I don't like the way that she's written. She annoys me at times, and I'm trying to be careful about what I say because I don't want to spoil anything. But overall, the Natalie character just she could just be annoying.
What? Could you elaborate, sir?
What do you? I mean, like, yeah. I don't want to
You
say too
saw it.
much because I don't know where. I don't want to spoil beyond episode 3. I only saw up to episode 3, but like she has this. If you haven't seen it yet, like you'll see aspects of her personality come out that like it's not just you. Like characters in the show is gonna be like, yo, when will she shut the fuck up? Like, yo,
yo, come on.
Oh man. I think possibly because you have kids in that age range, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's probably why she comes off to you so annoying because you're just like, oh my gosh, I could just hear one of my kids just like, like, shut up. So I think that's probably why Aunt specifically Natalie comes off as super annoying to you is because of, her range of age and her character and like, her way she messes with Riri and jabs at her. I mean, I'm sure that, in some way or form, you have dealt with that, you know what I'm saying, with your kids. So that's why I think that. But I mean, I see your point. I do with Natalie and how, she does nonstop talk. But I think that's why she was written that way, because she's supposed to be like, hey, Riri, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like she's her best friend, you know what I'm saying? So best friends, there are our greatest and worst, you know what I'm saying, like things in our lives sometimes, and that's technically what Natalie is. She's there to boost her, but also, Riri, did you know what I'm saying? Like it's pretty funny. They're back and forth. Actually, it works perfectly, I think, for the show.
Ty, do you agree with all of this?
I agree with the critique that Yaz just gave. I think this Riri is at this point, I think 19 or 20 years old, based off of the timelines and everything that they said. This is 5 years after Natalie, basically, and her stepfather got shot and killed. I'm assuming because they didn't really allude to it. I mean, they just kind of said the shots, so I'm assuming that's how they died. They died by gunshots. But Natalie is definitely the best friend and is definitely giving best friend energy. I think one of the things that they're doing well is they still haven't really elaborated on how Natalie operates, because she operates way different than Jarvis.
Yeah.
Like Jarvis was more of an AI that, you know what I'm saying, whenever Tony called on Jarvis or would ask Jarvis that Natalie is totally independent. Like she's a total independent AI, which is again, I'm guessing as the show goes on, they'll elaborate, but I know it seems as though a part of Riri's subconscious was downloaded, and when she did that download, and somehow it manifested into Natalie, maybe because she's always thinking about them or whatever. But I'd have to join Ant with with how I felt about her the first time. I watched this Ironheart twice. So I watched it the first time, and when I watched it the first time, she was super annoying. I'm not even gonna sit here in front. But then I watched it again, and then I kind of watched it with an understanding of what her purpose is. And her purpose is to not just be a yes man.
Correct.
Her purpose is to be the best friend that be like, girl, what you doing?
Right.
You about to do some wild stuff. Yo, they dangerous over there. Like, you need to, you know what I'm saying? This is not like a, I'm just asking Jarvis, yo, Jarvis, how many people are in the building? There's 8 people in the building, Tony. You got this is not that. This is her AI is like, girl, don't go over there across them street. Them dudes look shady.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I get that. So as I watched it, it kind of grew on me a little bit, and I was like, all right, Natalie, I rocks with you. I see what you really about. But I had go ahead, and then I have a question.
No, go ahead. Finish.
This is what I was a little confused about, right? So is Xavier Natalie's brother?
I was wondering that too.
I don't know.
Because I think the best friend is supposed to be his sister, right? And then I couldn't tell like if the
Natalie is the best friend, right?
Right.
And this is why I'm asking what I'm asking, and I know you want to answer, and I want you to give me what you can give me. So my thing is this, right? Xavier said is a lot of things that I paid attention to. Xavier said, I remember he had a front row seat at everything stepdad did with her and Natalie. He also said, yo, I came by to see the mural that they did for Natalie and stepdad, boom, boom, boom. But he called her, he didn't say my dad. He told Riri, he said, your stepdad.
Yeah, he did.
So then I was like, well, is he Natalie's brother, but they have different fathers or what? Because he also said, I keep these headphones because she had them all, like since she was little. And so I'm like, well, who are you, dude?
Yeah.
Because and then there was a message that said Big Sis needs you to do something to Xavier. It was on the walkie-talkie. Said Big Sis when she starts hearing the recording of Natalie talking, and she said, Big Sis needs something from you, bro, whatever. So I don't know if this is like, you know how sometimes you were so close to somebody, you'd be like, oh, that's Big Sis, or that's Sis. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, what's going on? Are they related or not, man? And how old is Xavier? Because he looks older than Riri, but he's supposed to be younger if you talk about Big Sis from Natalie. So answer some questions, man. Let's go.
And
yes.
You did not line Coogler us.
Yes.
Oh man.
No. Answer your question. Yeah, that they are siblings.
Okay. But they got the same dad. They got different dad. You're gonna answer that question, or you're just gonna leave it at the yes?
So Natalie and Xavier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Natalie and Xavier are siblings, and the stepfather is just Riri's stepfather. He's not at all related to Natalie or Xavier, but they
were just close, like best friends, sisters type thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like, there's a relationship obviously with Riri and her stepfather, but what we're going to see more is how Black people could be have that village mentality where we're all communal with one each other, where we're all helping with each other, where we're all just supporting each other further in the show, that will make their care for each other make more sense. You'll understand, like, yo, why is Xavier so invested in Riri's stepfather? You're gonna get that later. You're gonna see that later. You're gonna be like, oh, like they were all. It was just like one big family type of environment, and that is something that I think will make a lot of what we see happen with Riri's character make sense. I don't want to say too much that'll be too much of a spoiler, but this is probably like you, Ty. I had to watch the show twice, right? The first time I watched it, I was like, I don't like it. And then I turned it on the second time, and I was like, I started to pay attention a little bit more, and I started to watch it with a different lens and different set of eyes. And I think that was a big help, because then I stopped looking at it just as purely as like an Avengers type of world show, and I started looking at it as more of like, this is a show for young adults. This is that coming of age. I'm 19 years old. I'm like, why is Riri a criminals? Because at 19, you don't really know what the fuck you want to do. You might get caught up in the wrong crowd, even with the best intentions. And this is that story, even in the comics. And you know, I'm one of those people who, I have my comic. I have my comic. You know, I'm one of those people that I've been here for a while. Yeah, autographed by the creator of Riri. But yeah, one of those. I started looking at it more of just like that young adult story. I started to appreciate those themes, and it's like it's a young adult story that happens to take place in Marvel. And then if you're looking at it of like, hey, this is a young adult story, maybe it is that CW story, that Dawson's Creek, we graduated high school, what are we going to do for the rest of our lives type story, and then you sprinkle in some Marvel type stuff in it. That's when I started to understand and appreciate the show a lot more. And from that understanding of where they were coming from, this is easily one of my favorite Marvel shows that they put on Disney Plus.
Well, Ed, so you're saying, okay, because look, like I said, I watched it twice. So you're saying that Natalie and Xavier are not the stepfather's biological kids?
Correct.
It takes a village to raise children, so it's kind of like their best friends, their whole family, like they're you know, it's like cousins. You know what I'm saying? Like you raise
Riri's stepfather. So think about this as well, right?
Because I could have swore the only reason I'm saying that is because in the scene where they're in the garage, Natalie calls Riri's stepdaddy daddy. He said look, when the gunfire started happening, right before that, he said, pass me the wrench, baby. She said, okay, daddy. Now maybe I need to put on my subtitles so I can read the words, because sometimes, you know, people have lingos and words sound different. But I could have swore that was their dad, because remember, Xavier, from what I saw, Xavier lives alone, but yet he's younger than Riri. Which, if that's the case, then that means he's probably 18 or 17 or whatever the case may be, but he lives by himself. And when Natalie showed up on the screen for Ronnie, which is Riri's mom, she was like, can you bring Gary back too?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so there is that. And again, I hear you. And I think some people in the comments, Serenity says she's gonna go check out the scene right now and come back and report to us.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that they're not related. I'm pretty sure even in the comics, they weren't related, because they're the
10 neighborhood dad,
father, Natalie, they
right,
were actually characters in the books. And I think that only difference was the circumstance in which they got murked, as opposed to it being by Chicago violence the way it was here. But I'm pretty sure that they're not related, and it's more so just them being like that communal environment. So this is what I was trying to touch on. Like, you got to understand, Riri's stepfather, right? So that means this man met this woman and she already had a kid. And Riri, the personality that she is, she's got an A-type personality. I would imagine she probably had guards up on some dude coming up in her house, no matter what age she is.
Mm-hmm.
And if she's gotten to the point where she's accepted him the way that she has, this is a stand-up dude. And he not only stepped in to be the paternal figure in Riri's life, he probably saw Riri had some friends that don't have men in their lives either. So they're going to all come hang out at my garage after school. I'm going to keep an eye on them. And they friends might call me daddy too. Even if it's just jokingly, even if it's just in passing, even if it's just once in a blue. And that's the way that I took their relationship. I think that this dude was just that kind of dude. He came in, he got with moms, he melted Riri's icy heart, and he became that figure for everybody in the neighborhood. Everybody who needed it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's neighborhood dad.
He's Pops.
Yeah.
Pops.
Barbershop type shit. You know what I'm saying? Coming to America. Oh, man. Hey, man. You never met Martin Luther King. Shout out to
think about it. He had a shop, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sure all the kids, you know what I'm saying, like came to the shop after school or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, and he would teach them different things. Like, I mean, they were in his shop. They were in Gary's shop when they died.
Well, yeah, I mean, his family. That is interesting. Like, hopefully, maybe it'll be revealed. All we know right now is Mom Dukes was with the young lady. I mean, so this means that there may be multiple tragedies in her life already. What do we think, real quick, before we move on to a couple other things, about the depiction of Chicago? Are we in line with it? Is anybody have y'all been to Chicago?
No, but I watched The Chi. I watched all 7 seasons of The Chi. I mean, I don't know. Unless they're shooting that in Atlanta too. I don't know.
Well, I mean, because like I said, they just said they were shooting in Atlanta, and I understand why, because Atlanta is a little bit kind of like Black Hollywood right now, and you can make a set anywhere. But I mean, the depiction of Chicago, not just with regard to like, because there's a few things I noticed. Did you notice like she had to go to she dragged her suit? Remember she went to old boy. She's like, yo, let me get the suit. She's like, price went up or some shit. And then she dragged it on the train to the north side. How do you know it's the north side, Ty? Because everybody on the train is wearing Cubs shit.
Cubs.
Everybody is rich in Cubs shit. And the Cubs, for those who don't know, is the north side team. The Chicago White Sox are the south side team. So if you see Chicago White Sox, then what they're saying is we're on the south side right now, where the Wild Hundreds are, around MLK, all that other stuff. You see them on the north side, you're going to see a lot of Cubs shit. You know what I'm saying? Lakeshore Drive, Michigan Avenue, all that other bullshit. And so I liked it. I loved seeing that scene where they were sitting there drinking all, and the Cubs are assholes. And they're a bunch of assholes, and they was acting like assholes on the shit too. So I like that. I like the way that they had, and this is where I want to say, this has to have been Chinaka, bro. Bro, they had the white lady straight trolling with him. You're like, could you have your dog like not shit on my lawn? She's like, well, actually, my dog has to shit on your lawn.
Like,
what do you mean? Like,
just deal with it. Deal with it.
I was like, come on, Chinaka. Like, I know that's you. I know that
your grass is wet.
Like, she made a literal Karen. Just that all slamming shit. Oh yes, well, I know. And then she's like, well, could you at least pick it up? Like, no, I'm out of plastic.
Not about
I was like, yes. Northside wins. Well done. Go ahead, man.
Yo, there was a couple of things in throughout the series that I really, really enjoyed, and I'm gonna spotlight really, really quick. Number one, Dean Troy. Dean Troy. Look.
Hey, Ty's gonna spotlight some things.
All right. Look, number one, I think her name is Dean Troy, or Roy, or whatever the case may be, but the black dean at MIT was that whole interaction with Riri in that moment where she's telling her, look, I'm trying to make spaces for people like us, and like, yo, like, you're over here like doing some stuff that could jeopardize that in the future for all of us, and look, I want you to succeed more than anybody, but you over here wilding. And then when Riri was like, yo, this is why I did it, da, da, da. And then Dean Troy called her on it, was like, yeah, that's cap. that's 100% bullshit. And I was like, yo, that's probably Shinaka in that moment. Like, cause I was like, yo, now that I feel that 100%. Like, yo, we gonna support each other in things. But when you right, you right. When you wrong, you wrong. And sometimes I gotta, me loving you is me correcting you in that moment rather than just overlooking this what you're doing. And I really respected that. Also, the way that Shinaka is showing you the difference between Tony Stark and Riri Williams in the way that she's able to make this technology with little to no money. It's crazy. That whole scene where she's in her apartment putting back together the robot that was basically shattered to pieces when she landed crazy, and she's using the metals and stuff off of she pulled the fuse box metal door off, hooks up stuff to boot the bot up. She's using all of the household products. You know what I'm saying, to literally patchwork a freaking Iron Man suit. That is genius. That is straight up genius. The way she's showing the parallels between a billionaire and a girl with just ingenuity. Ingenuity. And I'm like, yo, like that. This is So yes, I was very, very much that was one of the scenes that kind of resonated with me when I watched it over again. And just for me, I love the way that Thorne is acting. Her acting is superb. Like I have never seen her before in anything else. I'm not saying she hasn't been anything else, but I've never seen her before. And
wasn't she in higher Harder They Fall? She wasn't in the Harder They. Oh no, that was the other. I'm sorry.
That was
the other young lady. Yeah, okay. No, not Zazie, but the other one who played.
You talking about the one that woman in the yard? The girl that played that woman in the yard,
but not completely aesthetic. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, nah. But to see her acting on screen in these scenes, what you're seeing is the seasoned vet. You see how she's very seasoned with her acting, and that's one thing that I really was not surprised, but more just really excited about. Once I saw it, I was like, oh, she's really good. And I think that they one of the things that they said was she auditioned for the part
of Shuri,
and they didn't. No. That's not. Well, that may be a different storyline. But what I'm talking about is she auditioned for the part of Riri Williams, and the directors didn't interview anybody else. Is what I'm saying. Like that after her interview, they were like, "She's Riri Williams." Like you know what I'm saying? Like her audition was that good to where they were like, "We don't need to see nobody else. We got our Riri Williams."
Okay, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but as I understand it, she auditioned for the role of Shuri in Black Panther, the original Black Panther, and she was beat out by that role by Letitia Wright. And as a result, but they was like, yo, but this chick right here, though, like don't keep your phone, lock my number in, because we gonna holler at you. But this role right here, we're gonna go ahead and give it to the lady from overseas. But we gonna fuck with you. And so correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But that's what I recall reading. But I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like this is something that I researched. Ty, you do such a good job of research. I don't want to put any of that, you know what I'm saying, down. But I do.
I don't think you're wrong. I'm not saying that she did not at some point, audition for Shuri. What I'm saying is that when they decided to do an Ironheart project, and they were, you know, doing auditions for the Ironheart project. From what I read in the article, she auditioned for the role of Riri Williams, and they were like, "That's Riri Williams. Like, we got our person." Like, so, you know, both can exist. I don't know.
The chat's giving me perhaps I might be right vibes, but I'm not going to plant any flags. I do want to say this. I recall that scene when the young lady at MIT scolded Riri. But if you from the same generation I'm from, you saw that scene as Bill Cosby talking to his son Theo, because this is a famous episode where Theo was doing terribly in school, right? And so Bill went up to his room to talk to him because he was getting C's and D's. And Theo gave this long speech. He's like, well, listen, man. He's like, well son, you're not doing. He's like, well, I'm just going to get a job like regular people. He's like, well, I'm a doctor. Your mom is a lawyer. All right. He's like, what does this mean, even regular people? He's like, you know, I don't know, drive a bus. You know what I'm saying? Just be a regular person. You know what I'm saying? He's like, and then he gives a speech. He's like, and I don't understand. Like, I'm trying to tell you that I'm just want to be a regular person. And you shouldn't judge me, Dad, because I'm not necessarily doing as well as you and Mom. If I express that I want to be a regular person, then you should love me just the same. Not because I'm this or that, but because I'm your son. And he like looks away like this. And then the crowd, the studio audience is like, woo! And then Bill Cosby says, son, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. He said, now you are afraid to try because you think if you actually try, then your brain is going to come oozing out of your ears. Now you are going to study because you're going to work and you're going to do a good job because that's what the fuck we are. Like he went off. But it was such a classic, what we call in comedy, a misdirection because the crowd is all, and then I even recall, like, hopefully, you know what, if I chop this up, we're going to chop this up with that scene because Theo, aka Malcolm Jamal Warner, he stands with his hands like this. Like, I remember at the end of the scene, he's looking like this, and everybody's like, and then Bill Cosby's sitting on the bed and he says, son, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. You're like, you are afraid to try. And so that to me says that perhaps, I don't know this for a fact. Maybe Ant does because he knows her personally. But I feel like Chinaka got that directly from, I'm not saying she's ripped it from it, but I'm saying that she's inspired from the same stuff I was inspired by growing up. You know what I'm saying? It's not a biting thing. It's just inspiration is what I'm trying to say. I think is dope. One final thing about the Ironheart whole debacle, which actually, believe it or not, this last thing that I just had up actually kind of goes into what I was saying. I don't know if y'all peeped it, but I just did a side by side. Sometimes when I set up these Jones on the screen, I just try to make it so that, you know, I know a lot of podcasts, like it's just, you know, we talk to the screen and, you know, and it's just us four and here we are, we're talking and it's our opinion and yes. But I got undiagnosed ADHD like to the max. So I kind of feel like it helps it when it looks kind of more like a TV show with stuff like that. Every now and then you'll see us do it like a side by side, like with this right here. And if you peek real quick, you notice that on this side by side in the comment section, there's this huge thumbs down. And this thumbs down is kind of indicative, in my opinion, of what happens. Speaking of what Ryan Coogler was talking about with regard to the internet and people that live on the internet and how sometimes the internet, because it's so loud, will seem like it's real. But he's saying that it's not real. But I'm not going to lie, it's difficult to really deal with that when you have stuff like this popping up and you see that people are actively making the attempt to weaponize the internet to get the results they want for a show that they don't even have the courtesy to watch. Like they're already just trying to hate bomb and critic bomb the show. It's only been out for a few days. There is a way that people feel about shows that are led by people that they don't feel like should be in that picture or in that position. And they go out of their way to demolish the show. It's a whole phenomenon. It is a whole phenomenon. There are legitimate ways to criticize Ironheart. All right, I feel like there are legitimate ways. Let me give you an example. There's a guy named Roger Ebert. Some old heads might be familiar.
Siskel and Ebert.
Ebert and them. Yeah. So Roger Ebert did a review on Ironheart, and he actually had some critiques that you may or may not find legitimate, but at the very least, they're critiques about the show and not about the wokeness and all of that. I'll show this to you real quick, just briefly, and then we're gonna go ahead and move on. We're gonna skip down because a lot of it is really fluffy. But he basically says right here that according to him, and this is like I said, this is what I call a legit, at least, criticism. When the two are, it's a shame that the series seems so intent on burying its lead beneath the rubble of the dying franchise to which she belongs, because Thorne delivers a performance that's nothing short of revelatory. She captures Riri's cockiness with ease, radiating with the bravado and charisma that not many of these new characters have. So he's not talking shit about Riri. Dominique Thorne is not a victim of him being mad at her, of him just being mad, angry at black people being on screen. As she's swept up in a life that becomes increasingly dangerous, Thorne faces shudder under the pressure of Riri's sorrow, eyes wide in fear, perpetual state of grief. She shines a light in a series that feels shrouded in darkness and almost feels desperate to bore viewers lest they get attached to this captivating character who she could have become. This is a weird slap, but it is at bare minimum a critique that is not wrenched in woke. I don't mind something that delves into how you like or don't like the show. But what I do really hate is when folks simply see the flyer and say, woke bullshit, I will trash it, and I will gather my army to assist them in that. I don't agree with this critique, by the way. I think it's way off, except for how she captures the character. But I think that there's room for criticism without being a complete asshole. You know what I'm saying? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
No, you hit it right on the head, and I'm not totally opposed to the critique. I think that there is some truth in what he said. Me and both agreed when we watched it the first time. If I'm being 100 clear, transparent, I wasn't impressed. When I watched it when I literally sat there and watched it with my wife, the first episode, I was like, I hope this gets better. I hope this gets better. And then when I watched it the second time again, that was when I kind of knew that I had to watch it differently. Like, I'm watching this with these expectations of it, and I think my expectations were rooted in what I saw in Sinners. And so my whole thing was like, all right, so I know that I'm going to get the real good shots and everything like that, that Coogler is famous for and everything like that. And you do. But I think that there was, in the first couple of episodes, there were moments where you could lose attention. Your attention span was not totally, peaked. So, so I think that there are definitely some truth in his critiques. My problem, as well as your problem, and my issue was the 30% rating that it got on Rotten Tomatoes before the series even came out. And that's what Rotten Tomatoes was doing what they were doing, was because how are you going to review something negatively that you haven't even seen yet? Yep. And that's the real problem. Is you have a clear message of sabotage that you're basically promoting. You're trying to sabotage this thing before it even gets a chance to roll out. So I think that just speaks to the level of hatred that people are walking around with and manifest whenever they get an opportunity to start clicking buttons on a keyboard. And that's what happens. And I think it's unfortunate. But I think that we as content creators have to be conscious of that. And we also have to make sure that we don't give any credence to these assholes and these people who have nothing better to do than perpetuate hate. Because that's all they're looking for, really, honestly, is for somebody to talk about them. And you know, I think Ryan put it, you know, as eloquent as any of us could do, and basically said, you know, like, look, you have to acknowledge and know that these people just wake up and choose violence every day. That is what they do. They literally wake up and they're like, what can I do to destroy, you know, civilization? And that, you know, so if that's what it's going to be, that's what it's going to be. But we as the light bringers have to understand that and you know, push the needle the opposite direction.
Oh, are we bringers of the light? We're bringers of the light.
We are.
The light. Oh, thank the light that we found you, oh Targaryen of the Trollocs. The Trollocs. They're coming for this.
You added 2 shows together.
Nah, well, he said the light, and it just took me to the what's that show y'all love?
Wheel of Time.
Yeah, the Wheel of Time. Man.
And then you like the canceled show, and then you mixed it with the Targaryens with the
I mixed with the Targaryens. Yeah, man, and the elves and the dwarves over here in Narnia and the Shire.
Ring power. You know, they done jumped in the ring of power. Are you all over?
That's what I'm saying.
Ring of power.
These shows and genres have different fans. Okay, Vince.
All 3 of them in one post.
I would make Marvel pizza, Spider-Man pizza shop, and it'd be it. With great power comes great delivery, or like, you know, that's a good motto, man.
That's great delivery. I love
y'all
it.
sleeping on it, Marvel. Y'all should get that down at Epic Adventure.
Man.
Have you been to Epic Adventure yet? Yes.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay, we gotta go.
I've been so busy. I know.
Yeah.
I've been so busy. Did you go yet?
No.
Oh yes.
I just for the first time this year got to go to Galaxy's Edge. Or was that last year? I talked to y'all about it already. So yeah, I've been sleeping on the thing.
No, we'll have to plan that out for sure. Like, we'll have to wait a little bit because it's like crazy, and I don't want to wait like over an hour and a half in a line. You know what I'm saying?
We don't go in the summer. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we're Floridians, so we got this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we gonna go and we'll go together so we can video it for everyone.
Did y'all just say? Hey, hold up! Did y'all just say we don't go in the summer? We're Floridians.
That's right.
Nigga?
Yes, damn right.
The summer is year round in Florida.
Oh no.
It's year round.
When
the kids are out of school.
Thank you. When the kids are out of school,
we don't go in the summer,
right?
And so all the theme
travels here. No, we don't go. It's too hot.
I just know that I was there when it wasn't summer and it was hot as hell.
We didn't say nothing about the summer being hot. It's about the travel. It's about like being oversaturated. It's too much.
Okay.
Even if you get the line, the thing for you can skip, you still got to stand in line if you're skipping the line. Like,
and actually at Epic Universe, they only have up to 4 or 5 rides have like the easy pass or whatever, and you only can use it one time on that ride. That's it. So you pay all that money, only a couple of them have it, and you can only use it one time.
In their defense,
that's crazy.
I don't think that the fast passes are that expensive as much as I feel like you would think that they'd be like 99, 100. Like the fast pass is like $35 a piece. And I mean, that sounds like a lot, but you save an hour of time. You know,
you go to it one time. That's it though.
But $35, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
the ticket's like $250.
That's how much you pay for a hot dog at Disney World. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so what you're saying, Vince, what you're saying is, since it's not that much of 35, you should probably be able to purchase one for each ride, because apparently what Yaz is saying is that you only getting it to use it on one ride.
Yeah.
So in order for it to
you wouldn't pay $35 per ride, but
no, it's not $35 per ride. It's $35 for the pass. You only get to use it one time for all the rides. That's it. Then it's not useful anymore.
But that's a good deal. I'm sorry.
No. But you could, in essence, based off what you're saying, Yaz, is you could purchase another one right after you use that,
Correct.
and then use it once. So you would basically, in essence, be paying $35 per ride additionally to make sure that you're not standing in a line for an hour.
And you have to
because
purchase for everybody, so it's not like for the whole family. Like if I go with Kiki, then I got to get one for her and one for myself. So that's
Oh
7
man,
of us.
that is such a money grab.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying, though.
Grab.
Man, okay,
That's
listen,
crazy.
listen. The park is so big, you cannot physically do it in a full day. That's how big the park is. So just imagine the tickets are about $250 plus tax. You see what I'm saying? Like for a day. Like that's crazy. And like I'm just giving y'all a tidbit. Whoever lives in Florida, in September, they got deals right now. The tickets are like under $200. So y'all need to grab them shits because everyone goes back to school. Okay. Everyone goes back to school. Florida is like, it's empty. The kids are in school. We can go when the kids are in school and enjoy it. And it's going to be great. It's no kids. Just saying. September, baby. Here I come.
I love how Florida empties when the kids get out of school.
Well, that's what literally people plan their whole like Christmas and summer are the worst times to try to go to Disney World, man, because it's just you're gonna wait in line forever, even with the fast pass. Like you go, like you know how it's weird, like you being served, like getting your own groceries and shit. Like you check yourself out now, it's supposed to make it quicker, but now you're waiting in line to check out your own groceries and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what we're dealing with now. Like if everybody has Clear and TSA pre-check, then there is no Clear and TSA pre-check. You know what I'm saying? By the way, they should Clear is basically what a fast passes are basically clears at Disney World. I never really thought about that. They just be like, hey, all right, you go ahead, just jump in front of them. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. I don't like being the dude that they pick to jump in front of us sometimes, but I like being that guy though. I don't mind. All right, anyway, I don't know how we got on. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know how we got on the Disney shit, but this has definitely been fun. I know we were talking about the debut of our beloved Ironheart, but there's a couple other things that I figured we could just chat on real quick, or at least y'all could give me y'all's opinion. This one's a quick one. I'm especially interested in what Ty has to say about this. I think you actually posted this, Ty. So what say you about this new PlayStation model that they have out now, which looks a lot better than the bullshit that I just bought? Fucking PS portable bullshit that they have. Are we liking it? Are we digging it? You think you might invest in it? I don't know. Now, let me add to the question. This is also something that I believe is being launched, the PS6. Now, here's the interesting part. I can't tell, but you tell me if this looks like they're playing the game on the console, like it comes with its own built-in monitor or some shit like that. Is that what I'm seeing here?
That's what it looks like in the picture. I mean, that's what I see. I mean, it makes it feel like it's portable.
Okay,
that's what it makes it feel like. It's portable.
This one's more like the Game Boy thing, which I think this is overdue because it's hard to play with the one they got now. It's just like hella big. But yeah, I thought that this was interesting news.
I don't know. It's 2027, man. It's just hard. Like when I start seeing stuff like this, like I mean, we're in 2025, bro. That's a full 2 years away. I don't know how excited I would get. I just thought it was cool, to post it as information. But I don't know, man. Like, if are we going to go through the same thing we went through for the PS5, where they only let out a limited amount of models, and then you got to wind up going on the eBay to try to get it for $1,000 instead of $500? This is it's just everything is such a money grab at this point, man. Am I going to get it? Yes, absolutely. I get all the systems, but 2 years down the road, yeah, we'll see, man. There's a lot of stuff that's coming out, and we got the Switch 2 already out, and people they're going through the same things they had to go through with the PS5s and everything like that. So, Nintendo is dropping their new version of the 4K, Super Nintendo joint or whatever, Nintendo 64 or whatever. So there's going to be a lot of options, man. A lot more options than maybe there has been in the past. And so, who knows? I mean, I started with Xbox. I started way back before Xbox, but I was an Xbox console player before I was a PlayStation console player, and now I'm a PlayStation console player. Who knows? Maybe I'll go to Nintendo next time, and who knows?
All right. Real quick before I ask Ant a question about Blade, I wanted to remind everybody to thank you very much. And
The only thing missing was Clippy to come out. I just want to save your presentation.
What was missing? What happened? What did I do? What?
Nah, just maybe some sound too. Maybe cause sometimes people are like listening to the podcast and walk away from.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, we do that.
Know, so all that meant nothing to those people.
Oh wow,
so,
damn.
If you were one of those people that walked away from your screen, well, we would basically what Vince was just trying to show you is that you should have by now liked, shared, or subscribed to the channel. If you didn't, what are you doing? What's going on? So please make sure you like, share, and subscribe every time we go live.
Thank you very much. Very well said, sir. Very well said. Yeah, you let me know when you want to come in. Look like you're getting things together over there. Just hit me up. But yeah, I wanted to ask a question of Ant specifically because of your shirt. There's some news regarding that particular project, and I was interested in your thoughts on it. So evidently, Blade is back in development. Grand opening, grand closing, grand opening, grand closing, grand opening, grand closing, grand opening, grand closing. What say you, sir? I mean, at this point, do you just kind of you're like, what? I mean, like, what? I don't even like when I saw this, I was like, I rolled my eyes so hard, bro, because I was like, all right. First of all, it says 2028, which gives so much time for bullshit. So much, oh, the director quit. Oh, is it gonna be Mahershala? Oh, Wesley wants to be a part of it now. Oh, back to the drawing board. Oh, the timelines change. Like his face exactly says it all, man. Like that is how I feel, bro. Like why you just tell me why your face is as frustrated as I feel.
So
man. Thank you for the likes.
They had that I guess the Jurassic World premiere was in New York. Thanks for the invite. The Jurassic World premiere was in New York, and Mahershala Ali was asked on the red carpet, when's Blade gonna film? And he was like, ask Marvel, tell him I'm ready. Then Marvel had the nerve to put out some news saying something like they got it on track, they figured it out. At this point, because it's been 6 years, right? And I've crossed over into another stage of life. That's how much time has passed. I've crossed on into another stage of my life in anticipation for this project. I would love to hear something more and more comprehensive than just we cracked the code on a single movie. At this point, we've seen projects that were announced at that same time come out with, and their sequels come out. So I would like to hear more. You've got two-time Academy Award-winning actor Mahershala Ali waiting in the wings for 6 years to play a character that runs around and kills vampires. I've had 5 other vampire movies come out since then. And Marvel can't crack the story. I need more than just a movie at this point. I want to hear about a movie. I want to hear about a Disney Plus series. It could be animated or live action. I'll give you flexibility. But I want to hear something a little bit more comprehensive than just we've cracked this one appearance of two-time Academy Award-winning actor Mahershala Ali in Marvel's MCU. You know, more than just Midnight Suns too. I want to hear about Blade.
Yo, so this doesn't make you happy that it's coming at some point? So they're saying there's a chance. I mean, because they should. I mean, a lot of folks thought it was going to get scrapped. I mean, at this point, would you prefer they scrap it? I mean, at this point, if they were to be like, nah, you know what, we changed our mind.
Yeah,
I would almost be relieved at this point. I mean, I want to see a Blade project, but I'm tired of hearing about how but maybe that's me living on the internet. Maybe I need to take some words from Ryan Coogler and not live on the internet. Maybe if I just waited for the movie to come out, it'd be all right. But it just seems like they can't get right.
I mean, the key word is development. The key word is development. I just want you to spot, because I'm very keen on it. Development. Development. I'll say it until it registers. That just means that we're talking. We're talking about. We're talking. Like at this point, Mahershala Ali is 51 years old.
Jesus.
You're telling me that by the time this comes out, he will be 54 years old.
Yo.
And you want him to run around and do all of this. Listen, man. The only thing that I'm excited about is the fact that there is a possibility that we'll see Mahershala Ali on screen in other projects prior to this. That's it. That's about the only hope that I have. When you say development, when to Anthony's point, this has been in development for 6 years. So y'all have been talking back and forth. This is starting to sound like Ace Bailey, the third pick in the NBA draft this year, who was drafted by the Utah Jazz. And he's now going back and forth with the Utah Jazz because he told them prior to them drafting him that I don't want to play with y'all. And yet you drafted me, and now you're mad because I don't want to play with y'all. And now we're going back and forth. This is it's just not seen. It's seeming as though Mahershala Ali and Marvel is not a good marriage. That's what it's starting to feel like. It's starting to feel like we've gone on some dates. Your breath stinks, and I don't want to go on any more dates with you. Like, I'm starting to really feel like you're not getting the signals I'm putting out. I'm not calling you back. I'm not returning your text. Wow. But you're still pursuing me. And when I hear Mahershala on the red carpet say, "Hey, tell them to holler." Mahershala, they said your breath stinks. I'm just telling you what that's what it in essence. I mean, like, look, like you got like Ant said, you got a 2-time Emmy Award winner. Academy Award winner. So this dude is already well above stock for an actor in your realm of movies. So for them to not take this is like Denzel. This is like you get Denzel. This is Marvel's version of Denzel. Like, this is what you're getting.
But it's starting to turn into Waterworld because like they had Kevin Costner, who was the hottest guy at the time. Kevin Costner, yes, is this dude. He played in this movie called Bodyguard. It was a long thing ago. But yeah, like he was as big, and that production went terrible because they could not agree on how they wanted it to end, and he ended up directing it and all that to finish it. So it doesn't mean, my point is, just because you have a great actor or great people in your circle does not necessarily make a great project. My question is, they have one of the best producers, writers, whatever on their payroll. Why is he not involved? If anything, he literally just made a movie about vampires. Can you call him real quick? We got a few minutes left, and just ask him like if he has any opposition.
If they got $1 million to give to Robert Downey Jr. to do a 15-second thing, I figured they have $1 million to give this man to give him a 30-second elevator pitch. Like, this is how you do Blade. Here's $1 million. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Yes, I forgot. I'm sorry. You did have your hand up before.
It's okay. No, that was good with the Kevin Costner. I know who the fuck that is, by the way. Just had to throw that one out there real quick. Sorry about that. Okay. But no, my thing is, okay, so you guys have seen Hit Monkey on Hulu, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a Marvel project. Why are we not enlisting these people that we know, I'm sorry, can execute, it's in the same era. He's got a sword. He's a monkey. He's flipping around. He's killing people with it. I'm just saying, like, it's not, I'm just saying the premise of, like, he's going through different, worlds, and he's the bad guy, like killing everyone with his sword. It's a really easy, obviously. I mean, if they can get it in the writing where Jason Sudeikis is a ghost, why can't they figure it out? I'm just saying, from like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And also,
well, I mean,
if they turn this into an animated, like if they decided to turn this into an animated series, that would probably slap a lot better than it would, because if you really think about it, what are they doing with the live action? Nothing. They haven't been doing anything with it. It's been a continuous, we're canceling it because we can't get the story along and people to, agree with how we want things to go in the direction. I mean, it's really easy to turn something as simple as Blade into, it's never been done before, into an animated series to get us kickstarted so that they can figure out what to do with the live action.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah. You saw me, Mike. I was like, oh, clean it up. Yeah. It's at first I was like, hold up. He's like, we can do Hit Monkey.
Well, I didn't like mean the parallels between. I see where that. Yeah, I see your point, but no, that's not what I meant. I'm just saying, like, the show.
I know Yaz and Ironheart, she didn't mean it like that. I think she was comparing animated series and the success that they could have if you use that business model. It just so happened that Hit Monkey was the successful model, because frankly, there's not a lot of successful animated models that are out there at the current moment outside of What If. Okay. So there's that, but look.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, we knew what you were. So like at the end of the day, the one thing that nobody's talking about is the fact that you have a director right in the room. Mahershala Ali is a fucking director. Like, at the end of the day, if worse comes to worse, which it has, let Mahershala fucking direct the shit. Like every time you've got a director, something has happened where the director doesn't like the script, the director doesn't like something. It's been so many different problems with this movie to where it's at the point, let's just get something on. I'm like this. I'm with you, Yaz. If they want to do an animated series, if they want to do a series instead of a movie, let's do that. Let's just do something to get this ball rolling. Look, if you got to go hire Wesley's ready. He's ready to go. Wesley's like, look, I'm down, whatever, and then you can do a series with Wesley, kill him in the series. Mahershala at some point comes in as the next in line to play Blade and takes up the mantle, and bam, you can roll right into a movie. But there's so many opportunities being missed right now, and it just goes to show again how really invested Disney is in these Black projects, because nobody's really talking about that. The fact that why is Disney having such a problem rolling out this particular movie? This was the movie that brought Marvel back into the fray.
That's wild.
Blade is what resurrected Marvel's dying career. So like at that point, I don't understand why Disney, if you are supporting Marvel, who you purchased and you became a business partner with, why you wouldn't want this to be a successful venture. And if you're gonna say, oh, that's why we're taking such care with it, well, I'm gonna tell you something. We don't need that much care. That much care, 6 years is too much care. You're taking too much care. So just dial that back, dial the care back, and let's get back into a series or something, because I'm tired of this. Like this is too much playing with my emotions. Oh, they're back in discussions. They're in development. Bro, you've been in development for. Come on, man. Y'all been in development since Wesley walked away from Blade Trinity. Y'all been in development. Like when we go, yeah, come on, man.
All right. Well, good luck. Hopefully, sometime before we, become grandparents, we get something from the Blade movie or show. Or I like Yaz's idea of it being kind of like, because one thing that hasn't happened yet is we haven't gotten any like soft introduction of Blade. You know how they like introduce characters in another show or a movie when they have a plan on, like, other than the Wesley Snipes quick cameo. Well, I don't even call it quick, but the cameo he had, like, I feel like there hasn't really been. But I guess they just
nah. Your movie was the rollout for him from Mahershala. The movie that you love so much, the Eternals. The Eternals. At the end of the Eternals, you hear Mahershala Ali's voice calling out to the. Yeah, that was your soft rollout. That was the oh my god. That was the oh my god moment. That was everybody's oh my god moment. Oh my god, Mahershala Ali, he's gonna be Blade. Nigga, that was all just man.
All right, so since we down to the last few minutes of the show, I figured with y'all, I'd like to do a trailer. And I did this at the last because I know we might not, I don't know if they're gonna, let this whole thing air or whatever. Hopefully they do, because this is, not something that we're getting from YouTube or anything like that. So without further ado, guys, we talk about this afterwards, but this is the trailer for a project starring Peter Dinklage, Kevin Bacon, and Elijah Wood called The Toxic Avenger. Lend me your eyes for a couple moments.
Armed political extremists have taken hostages downtown. Somebody do something!
Wait! Stop! We'll get to all of that. Just relax, okay?
Thumbs up, thumbs down. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna go off let's just do facial reactions on this one. We ain't done this one in a while. All right, chat. We're gonna ask you what you think based on their face. We only got like a few minutes for this, so we gotta make it quick. We gonna start with Ant, go to Yaz, go to Ty, then go to me. Based on their facial reactions, what is it they saying in the chat? Y'all go ahead, let us know. So this is Ant. Ant, what say you here, friend? All right, Ant's face. What the chat say? What y'all is Ant saying? Yo, Ant, no. Oh, y'all okay, they ain't feeling it. What does Ant say? What does his face say? Quickly. What's his face say? You know what? We go. Yeah, there it is. Hey, there it go. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody is. We got this. Is still no play. It's all right. Now, what does Yaz's face say? What Yaz's face say, real quick? What Yaz say, real quick, man? Yo. Yeah, what the fuck? I think we get close. All right. Yeah, it's definitely got to confusing us all on that. All right, we got bad time. What bad time? Oh, hold on, somebody else got something about Yaz's face. Yeah, yeah, I think that's a little bit low anyway. Yeah. What time? What bad time face is? Come on, what bad time got to see? Yo, come on, chat. What is it? What is time face? What bad time face said? What bad time face said? Come on. What is he? Yup. Is that what he said? Smokey one? Smokey one, he just walked in to say, yo, he had no contribution to the conversation at all. He just, yeah, that's about right. Serenity, thank you. Lord have mercy. Ding. That's about right. Lord have mercy. Lord. Your name. Why always? All right. Y'all going in. All right, man. What my face say? I hate to show it, but here it go, man. What my face say? Here we go, real quick before we end the show.
You look kind of excited.
All right, we're gonna skip this because we got to hurry up and finish. You say, what is Tyrion doing? This is stupid. I like it. I'm looking forward to it. I ain't gonna lie. It looks fun. I like the fact that it's unrated. I like the fact that there's a new category for movies that they're trying to explore. I mean, I don't know. It looks like fun. I like it with, it's Deadpool on mushrooms. You know what I'm saying?
It had potential. It had potential, Vince, because I saw the original Toxic Avenger, and this could have potentially been good. The real thing that really disappoints me is that, and I hate to say this because I like his acting, but the fact that they use Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Like why?
Yeah.
In the original, it was this guy who falls into a vat and then becomes this huge Toxic Avenger. Like he was a big, dude, and did all of the same stuff that you saw in this film. But I think they went so far comedy with the idea that Peter Dinklage, which being a little person, would make it funnier. And I'm just like, y'all could have made this could have actually been good. This could have actually been good because the old Toxic Avenger was decent. It was decent, and a lot of people don't even know about it.
Let me say this real quick. We don't normally go over the 2-hour mark, but I think we're gonna make an exception for today because there's something I have to show this shit to y'all. I have to hear what y'all think about this. So we might just go a couple minutes extra. But this shit is it's not funny, but it's interesting. This is what I'm gonna show you. So are y'all familiar with the Karate Kid?
Yes.
Everybody, I mean, the whole, from Daniel LaRusso, from
okay.
Coogler to Kreese.
Yes.
You familiar with?
No, but it's okay. It's fine. Just keep going.
Yes.
Okay, so you got, in order for you to have any idea of what this is, you have to, Cobra Kai, anybody? Cobra Kai?
No, I couldn't get into it.
Okay, yes. the original Daniel LaRusso. Y'all are familiar with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Karate Kid.
Karate Kid. He, with his arch enemy was this dude that was with Cobra Kai.
Yep, we know.
And the leader was a dude named Kreese.
Okay.
Creasy, I think, something like that.
Yes.
You remember this guy?
Yeah, the dude.
He ran the dojo. He ran the dojo.
Yeah, sweep the leg.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Sweep.
Yes.
Damn, Johnny, get him a body bag, Johnny. Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember him and old boy. So
Mr. Miyagi chopped him in the throat at the end of the Karate Kid movie,
and took his trophy. So I say all that to set this up real quick. This evidently he is not a good person in real life. Let me just show this real quick, and then we can. This shit is just weird. I don't want to laugh at it because it's not funny, but it's all right. Let's just do this shit or whatever.
You cannot fight people. That is not okay.
That is assault.
And it's 100% up to her if she wants to pursue charges. I'd like to understand why you did that.
I apologize. I was just playing because we're very playful together, and I bit down too hard, and I meant to.
She's got a mouth mark on her.
I know.
No,
and
we do not play like that. I
I apologize.
no,
So
no.
I
I
don't-
want
I don't know what world do we like where to bite and leave a mark on her, which is visible. That's super not cool, and I don't know if
it's felony assault.
that's
You
super.
tell
not
me.
cool.
I want to be very clear with witnesses. No, no. We're gonna hear me because I want to be very clear in front of everyone here. Martin, you think it's funny to play with people. We are colleagues. I have played with you on set. We've danced, we've worked together, we've shaken hands, and I came to you as a colleague and I said to your son, hey, can you tell your dad not to bite me? I'm not going to the cops. I'm not going to anyone. He says, I'm sorry. I said, it's not his fault. Just tell your dad he can't bite me. Now, in the realm of what is normal and reasonable, and I don't know if you understand that, that's called civility and camaraderie, and it's called colleagues, friendship. That's what that is. I came to you with that benefit of the doubt. Then I came to your face and I said, Marty, I said it very gently to you, Marty, you may not bite me. It hurts. You try to justify it because I don't think you understand that you cannot bite other humans. So I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on in your brain, but for you to get outraged at me is completely and utterly inappropriate. And honestly, I'm ashamed of your dignity as an 80-year-old man to scream at a lady that you just bit. You say that we're friends and that we play. Sir, we work together. We shake hands, we do photo ops, we get along. When have I ever bit you? Biting is an offense. That's why I've brought this gentleman here to speak to you, because you think you have done nothing wrong.
You cannot bite people. That is not okay.
That is assault.
And it's 100% up to her if she wants to pursue charges. I'd like to understand why you did that.
I apologize. I was just playing because we're very playful together, and I bit down too hard, and I meant to.
She's got a mouth mark on her.
I know.
No,
and
we do not play like that. I
apologize.
No,
So
no.
I don't know what world do we like where to bite and leave a mark on her, which is visible. That's super not cool, and I don't know if
It's felony assault.
that's super.
You tell me.
not cool.
I want to be very clear with witnesses. No, we're gonna hear me because I want to be very clear in front of everyone here. Martin, you think it's funny to play with people. We are colleagues. I have played with you on set. We've danced, we've worked together, we've shaken hands, and I came to you as a colleague and I said to your son, hey, can you tell your dad not to bite me? I'm not going to the cops. I'm not going to anyone. He says, I'm sorry. I said, it's not his fault. Just tell your dad he can't bite me. Now, in the realm of what is normal and reasonable, and I don't know if you understand that, that's called civility and camaraderie, and it's called colleagues, friendship. That's what that is. I came to you with that benefit of the doubt. Then I came to your face and I said, Marty, I said it very gently to you, Marty, you may not bite me. It hurts. You try to justify it because I don't think you understand that you cannot bite other humans. So I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on in your brain, but for you to get outraged at me is completely and utterly inappropriate. And honestly, I'm ashamed of your dignity as an 80-year-old man to scream at a lady that you just bit.
What's up, Yas?
I mean, I know they say in your older age, we revert back to being, our childish self and stuff like that. But like, can we just take a look at his body language right now as she's scolding him in front of the police and he's sitting there like a little kid being scolded right now? Like, can we just look at this? Like, yes, he's an 80-year-old man, but obviously his mindset has not gone past, where you don't bite people, because I don't know what human being thinks it's okay to bite another person, sibling or not. I would have smacked the hell out of that old man after he bit me, like straight up. Like, what are you doing? The way she handled this, I'm not gonna lie, he got lucky, because if anyone else that he would have done that to, I don't think it would have been, it would have gone off that easily for him. And then she already asked his son to tell your dad not to bite me anymore. What the fuck? How many times has he bit you? Like, can we just talk about that? This whole thing is super freaking weird. Okay, and that old man, I think, needs to go to counseling, because obviously he does not know you cannot bite other people, adults, kids alike. He doesn't understand. So I think we need to, really look at this, because this old 80-year-old man is like, my grandfather is older than this man, and he would never stand there like that. He'd be like, I bit her. Yeah. But we were playing. She's my coworker. I'm sorry, what? In what world do you play with adults and you bite them? None. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah, because I
I
mean that's the thing about it. Like, all right, so just to provide a tiny bit of context, not that this justifies anything, but let me read from this article. The Los Angeles Times reported in an article written by, let me get by Christy D. Zorilla. All right, she says Martin Cove, that's said person right here, who stars as John Kreese on Cobra Kai, allegedly bit a co-star hard on Sunday at a fan convention in Washington State. All right. So again, not justification, but let's provide some context. Alicia Hannah Kim, who joined the Netflix series as Kim Dae-un in the show's 5th season, was on her way to her booth when she tapped Cove on the shoulder to say hello in an area where the show's cast was hanging out. According to Pull Y'all Up, is that what that police department is the name of this city? Pull Y'all Up?
That's what it says.
It does say that for sure.
We all up.
Hey, according to Pull Y'all Up Police Department, obtained by the Times, Cole's reaction appears to have shocked her. Okay, when Alicia did this, Martin Cole suddenly grabbed her and bit her upper arm so hard it nearly drew blood.
Nope.
She yelled out in pain. An officer who was assigned to VIP security at Washington State Summer Con wrote in the report, once Martin Cole finished biting her arm, he grabbed her arm again and began kissing it where he bit her. The officer said the actor had a very noticeable bite mark on her arm that was already turning blue and bruising when she showed it to him. Cove issued an apology through a crisis management PR firm late Tuesday. I deeply regret and apologize for my actions regarding the incident with Alicia, and genuinely kind and wonderful person who didn't deserve to be put in this position, Cove said in a statement obtained by Entertainment Weekly. I've always respected her and considered her a highly professional and talented coworker on Cobra Kai. Cove said, this is where it gets, I think Yaz might have been trying to make this point. Cove says he was being playful in the moment, but went too far and offered no excuse for his behavior. He said he regretted what he had done and was committed to learning from it. I'll take full responsibility for what I did. And again, I apologize to her and her husband. Oh, shit. Husband, you can't bite. Yo, you fuck around and bite my wife, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, dude. This dude's got bodies in his backyard. I agree with you, Harmony. It puts the lotion on the skin vibes right here, like you bit down and then you kissed it. And then you were like, why are you yelling at me? And then you got pissed off at her for yelling it. I'm sorry, but like, no, oh hell no. Like, I don't care who you are.
I just
that
don't.
Is some crazy shit.
I mean, okay, I just can't think of anything further than what I would do in that moment than bite. Like, I mean, as kids, we might, you know, remember I used to be like, boop, you know what I'm saying, and hit you and shit, or do this shit. I don't know what area. And did y'all up north? You tied? Did y'all do this thing?
What are you doing? What is that? What is that?
I didn't do this one. We did this.
What is that? What is that? What is that? What is this? What is that in this?
Y'all didn't do this?
What is that? What is
okay,
that?
So it'd be like it's a little game we would do. Like I'd be like, hey, bro. And if you look at it, be like, I got you.
You gotta
you
get
look
hit.
at it, and I just punch you as hard as fuck, like in the leg or some shit,
or
in the arm.
in your junk.
Yeah.
You do. Yeah, where I'm from, if you punch. No, I don't. But where we're from, where I'm from, you punch me, we fighting. There was never no game where you could be like, oh, and then punch me, and then it just be like, oh, you got me.
It's like, okay, as kids, like
I understand, Vince. I understand, Vince.
Games where you'd be like, hey,
thumping, like thumping somebody's ear when it's cold.
That's one fight. I literally fought over
nigga, then we gonna fight because that was something we used to do. We definitely would thump your ear.
Okay.
What is that? What is that?
Gills.
gills. So
They
we used to
get-
have this. If I had you look at this,
Yeah.
I would be able to go to the back of your neck and pull the skin off the back of your
the
neck with all
fuck?
my might. We called it gills.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we had the gobble grabble. You know, you just go up to people and you like, you know, you do that shit to them. You
The
know?
gobble grabble.
Yes, the gobble grabble. It's funny as hell. Yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad. So that's like the ultimate, like that's like the ultimate disrespect. You go up to someone, gobble grabble, like that's fucked up. Or if you like yawn, like when I was like a teenager, if you yawn, you know how some like, oh, you just like stick your fingers in the mouth and like fuck up their yawn.
God.
Oh yeah, like it was, oh dude.
No.
Okay, wait, another one. You know when you're walking and you like go and kick someone's leg, you know what I'm saying, and then like trip on themselves. That was another one too. And then the pinching on the arm. Oh, that's fighting for me. But
Yo, Indian burn. Did y'all do
no, we
Indian
didn't
burns?
Indian burn. We would pinch the under. Oh, that shit would be blurple. Oh, it'd be so bad.
Yeah, we'll do the Indian burns, but that would be like one of them things where, you know what I'm saying, you'll let somebody do that. You know what I mean? It
Right.
wouldn't be like, yo, somebody just walk up and Indian burn you.
Right.
But like, yo, like you remember the slap game where you put your hand like that and pow,
Yes.
slap.
Yes,
We used to do stuff like that. And then like I said, the thumping of the ears when it like because it be because it be cold as shit at this bus stop in the morning. Like it'd be cold as fuck. And your ears would be the first thing that would be freezing.
Yep.
And you catch up somebody. And
Savage.
yo, they would hurt so bad. Yo, you'll be like, So yeah, we used to do a little wild shit like that. You know what I mean?
Wait,
Like,
Serenity, you don't know what an
it might be
Indian
very
burn is?
sensitive.
Oh my gosh.
It's-
Okay, so
it's
you
sensitive.
take the arm and you have like
Yeah.
one hand here, one hand
One
here,
hand-
right?
Go
All right, and then you
go
take it
clockwise with
and
one.
it's like twisting a towel. You know when you're wringing out a towel, you just keep doing that,
Yeah,
and
you
dude,
do it
it
on your
turns into
arm.
like a rug burn on the arm. It's horrible. Literally, you get
Yeah.
it's so messed up, man.
But Serenity brings up a good point. Why is it called Indian burn?
I don't know.
what is
That's
it-
just what we've
what
always
does it have
called
to do
it.
with-
I
What does
know.
the Indian part come into play? Like do y'all know that they don't call it Indian style? Like you don't sit Indian style no more. Like you know that's a thing. Like Ty, I'm sure you know this.
It's
Like it's not
crisscross.
called Indian style. It's called crisscross applesauce.
Mhm.
When you
crisscross
sit down-
applesauce.
It is. He's right.
You don't
Yeah,
sit
it's
down
cool.
Indian
It's
style.
cool.
There's a funny joke with this dude from Chicago. Man, it's good. I want to call him a good friend, but I can't because I can't remember his name. But damn, I'm gonna post it later. But he has a joke. He's like, man, it's cool. It's cool called him because his kid wouldn't sit crisscross applesauce. He was like, crisscross applesauce. He was like, crisscross applesauce. Like, do you mean Indian style? He's like, sir, we don't
say that
we
anymore.
don't call it Indian. He's like, I don't know what the fuck y'all trying to raise, but my kids said Indian style. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a whole other thing. But it is interesting. I can see I see why, because they give us these encyclopedia fed images of Native Americans sitting with their legs a certain way. So I get where that I guess where that come from. The Indian burn part, if I look it up, maybe it has some background, but I don't know. I ain't used that term in so long. Did y'all do the loopy with the shoestring? You didn't do the loopy with the shoestring?
You mean tell when you tie people's shoes together?
Not that. No, man. The loopy, man.
Show us. Oh gosh.
See, this is why y'all stay to.
Hey yo, it sound like Vince was doing a lot of shit he had no business
Right?
doing. Vince, you was getting into a lot of fights.
Bully. He was a fucking bully in the back in the day.
So y'all didn't never be like sitting in gym class and then you get your homeboy shoe and you just get this part and you loop it up and you just take and you pull it all the way like this. Man, goddamn. So now you gotta
What's wrong with you,
gotta
Vince?
sit
You
there
messing
like
up people's shoes.
Yeah, man. You playing with fire, man. You playing with people's shoes and
You trying to get your ass beat.
you trying to get cut. You trying to get cut, nigga.
You doing
all of you over here throwing up blood signs and that like what
that was the thing.
Yeah, yo. So man, you was doing way too much.
How things that we remember as kids and like, you know what I'm saying, just like normal things, like they rewrit them. Can we just talk about that? Like to make them more culturally appropriate for everybody. Like you said, the Indian burn. No one ever calls it that, but like, you know, we know it is that. But the kids, I don't know I think they just call it a burn now. I don't really know what I'll have to ask my niece. I'll have to ask my niece. She's 13.
I don't even think kids do that no more.
But
some of
they
that stuff they don't do.
They don't. They like
They
play
got
with
their
their
own
fidget
little weird
spinners
shit.
and they're stupid. Yeah, they're not interested in messing with each other. They got all these things to mess with now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they've made it, you know, the ADHD of us messing with each other, they've turned it into fidget spinners and the freaking iPhones and like, you know what I'm saying? Like kids don't do that stuff no more. So that's what I'm saying. Like everything, like for example, I remember, I know you guys know this name of this band. I literally was listening to it the other day, and my niece, she's 13. She was like, "Why are you being racist?" when I told her the name of the band. So do you guys remember the band name Uncle Cracker?
Yeah, I thought
they literally like the song is called Follow Me. Like I'm telling you, anybody who's ever heard the song, you'll be like, oh, I know that song as soon as it plays. But when you look up the name of the band, you're like, how did this name stand the test of time?
I remember Uncle Cracker being popular and being like, I don't like that.
It was super popular, but I mean, like, but like that, just things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like back when we were kids, and like, you know, like crisscross applesauce. You know what I'm saying? Like we knew it as something completely different. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just it's really funny to see the growth.
Y'all didn't play chicken on the handlebars? I mean, on the monkey.
Oh yeah, we played chicken.
Monkey bars? Are they called monkey bars?
Can you even call them monkey bars anymore?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying though.
I don't call them monkey bars no more.
When you're chicken fighting in the water, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is that called now? Like, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? When you put people on your shoulders and you like, you know, fight them in the water. What is that called now? Like, it was chicken fighting before. What is it called now?
Yeah, because in the South, y'all was in pools and shit. But in St. Louis, we had what we used to call the monkey bars at the playground. And you would get one person would get on one side.
Oh, yeah, and you would.
The other person would get on the other side.
I
and
know
then
you would fight.
Going forward to see who's going to stop first. You never played chicken on the bag?
Nah, that wasn't how. Nah, I didn't play it like that though. We used to play it like you get on the monkey bars across from each other, and then you wrap your legs like you try to fight with your legs, or you wrap your legs and pull a person down with your legs.
Essentially, that was what ended up happening in chicken, but the game was chicken.
Like
I know you ain't talking to
Mr.
Whatever this is.
You would be hanging. You would use your feet. You would use your feet to kick the other person.
And
then what they would do is, because you're both trying to kick, you would take your legs. You would have to take your legs, and you would come down on them and grab them like that, and then get down with your legs. Yeah, I remember that game. Yeah, I remember that as a kid.
Your crotch area would be all over their stomach and the body to just like bring them down. That's how it would work. And you would just like a spider, you would go on them and just take them down. That's how it would work.
Welcome to Fight Club.
Right.
We
don't discuss it.
Fight Club. Yo, man, did you do cherry drops? Did you call them cherry drops?
It's a cherry drop.
What the fuck is a cherry
drop? It's when you on like the bars, the monk. We call them the monkey bars or whatever, the uneven bar. I don't know what the fuck, but you get on them and you swing off of it and you do like a flip off of it. You never do you swing back.
Nah, we did that in the swing. We just did it off the swing. So off the swing, you'll swing high and then you'll do your flip or you'll do whatever off of the swing.
The monkey bars, though, I mean, depending on where they were at the playground, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't do that in certain playgrounds. You know, you would hit poles and other things. You know what I'm saying? So like that's
Yo, hold on, chat. Y'all didn't do nothing. So this is completely foreign to y'all. Like y'all literally did not have no look. I admit some of these games sound crazy, but I mean, we was kids, man.
Yeah.
Like, we the same kids.
We didn't have the internet.
Yeah, man. We was like,
nah, we had red light, green light. You know what I mean?
We had Marco Polo.
Marco Polo, nigga. Yo, did y'all ever prank call nobody? You know, y'all
hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Before Star 67, like they could do. You just had to answer the phone. You just had to answer the phone. You just had to. Okay, Harmony. Oh, she is from Brooklyn. Brooklyn. Okay, you got to be from. Okay, we have pool money. Okay, excuse me. All right, I'm sorry, everybody. I mean, we didn't say it was our pool. It could be community pool. It could be at the Y. God damn, calm down.
Yeah.
Hey, nobody swims in the community pools, bro.
Oh no, they don't. There's so much pee. Oh god, it's so bad.
Oh Lord, nobody swims in them.
We used to go to in St. Louis. We would go to summer camp, right? And then we would have to put on. I remember.
Everything about this conversation sounds disgusting.
Hey yo. So we went to summer camp. All right, at this place called Heman Park in U City, around the corner from where I stayed. And they told my mom and them that I was going to go swimming, so to pack me some swimming trunks. And so I had put my swimming trunks on, and we had all got in the water, and we was all swimming in the water, and then I looked down, and my shit was see-through, and I was wearing like some see-through swim trunks, and
see-through swim trunks. What the heck?
What the fuck is going on? Yo?
Wow, your mom
I told my
was
mom, I
your
told
mom
my
was
mom
like,
when
they
I got
look like
home, I was like, Mom, these swimming trunks is see-through. She was like, no, they ain't. I was like, I promise you, they see-through. Like, she had to give me a whole different one for the next day. And I almost drowned in that pool too. So that was a whole problem, you know.
I almost drowned too. I almost drowned too. I almost drowned too, yo. I did. I like, yo. I tried to be, because when I was probably like, I want to say probably like 9 or 10. Yo, we went to the pool and they had a diving board. Now look, this the ill shit. This is why this is what being kids is all about, right? Yo, you want to for me anyway. They had a diving board and nobody was diving off the diving board.
Oh gosh.
And so I wanted to be the nigga that dive off the diving board because ain't nobody else diving off the diving board.
Oh gosh.
But low key, this is the truth. I can't swim.
Oh my gosh.
So
Bad
here's my
guy.
dilemma. Do I jump off this diving board and look and everybody be like, yo, he did it and risk drowning?
No.
Or do I just sit over here and just, chill? So I took the wrong route. I was like, yo, I'm gonna jump off this diving board. So I jumped off the diving board, and back then you'll see anytime you saw diving, it was on the Olympics. You didn't never see no diving unless you saw it on the Olympics. Nigga. Like I think we didn't have no diving team. Like I didn't have nobody jumping off. Only time you saw it was off the Olympics. So I jumped off the diving board, did an Olympic dive, bro. I did an Olympic dive. I did this shit. But then I hit the water. And that's when reality set in that I couldn't swim. So when I did the dive, I literally sank to the bottom of the pool.
Oh, yeah.
And I was on the bottom of the pool. So when I didn't come up, they was like, yo, that nigga drowned. Like, so look. So the lifeguard jumps in the water, gets me, saves me, boom, comes out, bro. Right? I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. But everybody's looking at me now for the wrong reason. So I had to play it like I wasn't fine. So I didn't know what happens to you if they think you drowning. This is the part that I'm gonna tell all of the people who didn't know what happens after you're about to drown. They take you into a EMS truck. If you try to go to sleep, they slap the shit out of you. Like I'm not even playing. Like I was tired after this long day of me doing all of this crazy shit, and I wanted to go to sleep. And every time I closed my eyes, that EMS, the dude that was in it, slapped the shit out of me. Like I'm not like, there was some real abuse going on in the back of that fucking that EMS truck. He slapped me so hard, I was like, oh shit. He slapped and he was like, look, man, you can't go to sleep. So I'm thinking, all right, fine. We're gonna get to the hospital. I'll get a nap. I get to the hospital. I'm thinking it's all over. They done called my mom. My mom is up there. We're in the thing. Little did I know that if you almost drown, you got to get needles, multiple needles. And so now I'm up in there and they shooting. I never been a needle guy. I never liked needles. Still till I'm a grown man and hate needles. That motherfucker, they shot me with probably about 8, 9 needles. Like in like just pow, pow, pow. Yes, all that. I get in the car and my mother says to me, and I wish my mother was on here right now because she'll co-sign this shit. She said, next time you decide to do some dumb shit, don't.
That part.
No, she was like, don't do no dumb shit. I'm like, oh man, I'm not gonna do no more dumb shit, man. Moral of the story, don't try to impress other kids because all they gonna remember is when your ass almost drowned, not the dive. They did not remember the dive. They just remember that almost.
What's up, Yazzie?
I have one follow-up question for you, Bad Ty.
What's that?
Can you swim now?
Look, I can swim good enough not to die.
Okay. Okay.
So,
you learned your
so
lesson.
I'm not.
Gravity took
Yeah,
over, and
yeah,
he's like, "Oh
yeah.
shit, I'm at the bottom. What the fuck?"
Yeah. I at this point, when I go to if I go to a pool, I stay on the side. I'm taller now, so you know, 5 feet, I'm good. 5 feet, 6 feet, I'm good. You know, when they go to 7 feet and I'm starting to on my tippy toes, then I'm like, yeah, maybe I need to back up a little bit. But yeah, I can swim good enough to not die. Yeah.
All right. Oh yeah, I'm glad you conquered that fear of your shots and drowned in the pool and looking like a gangster on the diving board, and then all of it comes tumbling down. Now
Yo, you'd have been proud of me. You'd have been proud of me that day, Yaz, for the dive. You'd have been like, yo, this nigga did it. I did the dive. That was the most important thing. That was nobody remembered that though. Like when I came to school after that, they was like, yo, you okay, nigga? You died. We thought you was dead, yo. Like I was like, nah, you know,
I'm like a rock.
Yeah, like to the bottom. Like, bro, there was no flotation in me at that point. I was like, shit.
Yeah, I think Yaz has to go. So Yaz, I understand that if you got to get on up out of here real quick. I was going to tell my quick anecdote. It's not as long as Ty's. But no, I didn't mean for it to be long. I just know Yaz has to go.
That was freaking great. All I want to say is, Bad Ty, I'm sorry that you did such hard work and no one remembered. They remembered but not the work.
Not the work.
Fucked up. I'm sorry. Okay, like that's over here. Like, but did you see the dive? Okay?
The dive though, like I don't even know what it was called, but I think it's called a jackknife, where you go up, you fold yourself, and then you come down in the water straight. I did everything right, and then hit the water, and then just went straight to the bottom. And
I would like to see I'd like to see the surveillance cam.
We didn't have.
I don't think there was any cameras. I don't think that unless you had the big held hand once that was. I was like, nah, no camera footage.
VHS, VHS tape. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, they didn't even have security cameras then.
Oh, this is New Jersey, of course.
No security cameras.
But we have some similarities. There's something that I find very similar between our two stories. So at the same park, at that same camp at Heman Park. All right, Yazzy's got to go. Let's go ahead and get Yaz on the way out. I ain't got but a couple of seconds left, but I know she's been saying she got to go for like 30 minutes. So appreciate Yazzy for pulling on up, and we will look forward to seeing you again next week. I'm going to hit you up a little later, too. I got to help myself. All righty, that was Yaz, y'all. So just getting back into it real quick. So I was at Heman Park, and I remember Earl. There was a little dude named Earl. All right. They allowed us to go swimming. All right. Now, I didn't know how to swim. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, this dude Earl, who had on he had one of them swimming caps, you know what I'm saying? And was like out there swimming. He made it look so easy. So I fucked around and was like, oh yeah, I can swim. And so Earl was like, oh shit, well come on in, bruh. You know what I'm saying? He out there swimming. And I'm like, I mean, shit, how hard can it be? You know what I'm saying? He's swimming and shit. So I'm like, all right, cool. So bam, I just jump in. And then I start imitating what I saw Earl doing, which essentially was just doggy paddling and shit. And I went in, I was like, whoosh, and I remember going like, and then I stopped and I opened my eyes and I was still underwater. I was like, hold on, this isn't working the way I was like, I was still in the like so I start, you know what I'm saying? Trying to like, and then I don't remember much after that. I just remember I was dragged out of the water, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't have to do no CPR or nothing, but I was shook. Like I was like in shock. They called my mom and dad wasn't available. My aunt Sandra came. And I lied and said that he had pushed me in the pool.
Oh, damn.
He got in trouble. But here's the weird part, Ty. they confronted him about it. And they said, Earl, did you push him in the pool? And he said, yes. And I remember being like, real? I was just pushing. You know? So yeah, so that was when I had almost died, and that was I didn't swim for a while after that, but we did end up going to the Monsanto YMCA for swim lessons, where a girl named Nee, she said, my name is Nee, like the knee, and she taught me how to swim a little bit. And also a funny memory about this as we wrap this up. That day was also when one of my very best friends, still to this day, Mark, who I did go to the Cardinals game with. Every time I go to St. Louis, I always holler at Mark. Sometimes he stops in here, Sasquatch. You'll see he'll pop in here and say Sasquatch and say some weird shit. That's my boy. I wish he was here. He would co-sign all of this because he was there. He was a witness. But that day they asked all the group of kids. This is how I knew I was different. This is like way back. I mean, I don't remember how old I was, but it's way back. They asked us kids if we wanted to watch a movie, all right? And they asked us to choose between two movies, all right? One movie was Beat Street. Do y'all remember Beat Street?
Absolutely.
Remember Beat Street? Okay. The other movie was Ghostbusters. Okay? They told everybody to raise their hands for the movie they wanted. They put up Beat Street, the entire room. Hands went up. And I was like, what the fuck is Beat Street? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know what it was. They put up Ghostbusters, and Mark, my homeboy, since I was born, he put up his hand, and he looked over at me, and my aunt was sitting there holding me in a towel, and he's like, Vinny, which one do you want to see? I was like, Ghostbusters. And so Mark put up two hands. Mark put up two hands, one for me and one for him, and we lost resoundingly, like 40-2. But that was a moment where I think I started to realize, like, I think I might be a little different from the niggas in my neighborhood and shit. I don't know what's going on, but it is what it is. But anyway, thanks one time for Ant-Man for rolling out the interview. That was real dope, man. I mean, I know it's live right now on sites, but thanks for sharing what it was like to go through that, man, because it looked like it took skill and poise, nothing other than what we, of course, have come to expect of you, sir. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I still want to address how Harmony's pointing out how you snitching and lying all in the same story, and you putting this out here in front of everybody about how you did this shit.
I'm snitching and lying. How I'm snitching and lying? How I snitch? What did I?
You snitching about you lied on the boy for pushing you. And then you so you were snitching and lying at the same you was
Vince, you fucked up.
I brought Yaz back.
You's a fucked up friend, dog. I listened to that whole thing.
I'm not
you couldn't even after he already admitted it, you couldn't even be like, bro, thank you for doing me a solid and taking the rap. Like, what the fuck, Vince?
I didn't know him like that. I didn't know that nigga. Why is he telling me to get in the pool?
What do you think you need, bro? He showed you before you even knew that he was on your team. He showed you he was on your team. I'll take the rap.
Why is he telling me to get in the pool? I don't know you, bro. I don't know you.
You lied on his ass.
I did because he made it enticing. Like, why did he make it look so easy? Like, it wasn't as easy as he made it look. Like, he was just like, come on, get on in. It's easy. And I jumped right on in and shit. And I was like, and I looked around and I was like, okay, all right. And I'll never forget because like there's a weird feeling when the water like is in your nose, and I was just like, okay, why isn't this working? Like that's literally what I was thinking. I was like, okay, what the fuck? Like I literally just saw him doing this. Why am I still underwater? And they just pulled me out, and they pulled me out of the water. And I was like, Earl, I remember I'll never forget because I had the hiccup cry. You know when you get the hiccup cry? Because I was like, and it was like, what happened? Why would you, Earl? He almost made me.
I have no words.
And then they was like, I was like, he pushed me in, and they was like, Earl, you pushed him in, and he was like, yep. I was like,
see, Vince, you was in denial. You was in denial. I at least acknowledged the fact that I knew I couldn't swim before I jumped in that fucking pool. Right. You was in denial, like I know I can swim, and jumped in there, and then when you realized, that's why yours was probably worse because you was more frantic. I accepted death once I entered the water. Look, when I tell you, I went straight to the bottom. Like it was I hit the water. I was like, no, nigga. I went in and went straight to the bottom. Like, Lord, come take me.
Yes.
Take me for my poor decision making. But yes, I did. I was in no point of denial.
Okay. All right. So let me challenge this for a second. All right. He didn't physically push me, but he mentally pushed me. Because he was like, come on in, it's easy.
I can't even leave.
We wasn't supposed to.
You're still fucked up right now.
There was nobody else in that section of the pool. Like, why was he was there because he could swim? And I misled, and I may have misled him and said I could swim. But
have you been hanging out with my stepdad? You just accuse the person that's there, but you know what I mean? Like that's not there. You know, you're just like, oh hey, you know.
My bad. I'll let you talk about your dad. Your father.
No, my stepdad. Like that's what he used to do when we were kids. And the way I learned to swim was my dad just threw me in the pool and was like, "You got this."
Yeah,
I figured it out.
That's not. But I heard that's how they're doing babies nowadays.
It is,
like,
and that's how they figure it out. I'm not gonna lie. Is your instincts kick in, and like they just as a little kid, that's how they used to teach us. They used to throw us in the pool. Obviously, there was a parent in the pool, somewhere to save you. But like, yeah, they used to throw you in the pool. You figure it out. You learn how to swim. You're good to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all over here being daredevils. Like, I can do this. No parents around to save you. Like, what are y'all doing? I'm just throwing that out there.
Saved me. And my auntie came and picked me up because she never had a job. Well, she did teach for a little bit, which as long as I know, she normally find a way to get somebody money. But I love my auntie. We got the same birthday. Maybe we're the same. I don't know. But yeah, man, that's a memory that is reigned in my head. I might bring Mark on here to tell the story because he literally was there.
The right way.
Mark was there. He was there with me. You know what I'm saying? And he saw it. All right, yes. And we are, we gonna follow right behind you, yes, because honestly, this was way more than we normally do anyway. So let's just go ahead and wrap on up out of here. Once again, I want to thank everybody who pulled up. Shout out to the entire Twitch family, the YouTube family. YouTube, thank you. If you're not watching us on YouTube, please make adjustments. Shout out to Comedy Hub for giving us a platform. We love everybody watching on Twitch and those listening Spotify, this, that, and the third. But most importantly, shout out to you for pulling on up every time. Don't forget did I stop already? Don't forget that Ant's interview is, along with the rest of the folks from Africa, is live right now. So go check that out, as well as Ant's upcoming projects. So soon we'll be delving into that. We'll be talking about Foundation and some other things in the upcoming future when we get a chance to watch. As of right now, we do hope that each and every last one of y'all continue to be your authentic self. Because if you ain't being yourself, guess what? You being fake. It ain't no honor in that. Drop some comments. Make sure you leave liking on the way out. And if you're a geek, like we always say, go ahead and let that good old geek flag fly.
This is one of the greatest podcasts, and you know what? Fuck that. These guys are fucking awesome. They my niggas to the end of time.